can't be crying if you're a coach before a Super Bowl.
No.
Because then everyone will be like, hey, remember when you cried and then lost the Super Bowl?
Yeah, and then that GIF is just going to be used anytime you screw up.
Yeah, and that guy wearing the crazy pants was in the 500 level.
That's probably why he was crying.
Jalen Hurts is great this second.
He probably smelled Max, and that's why he cried.
Yeah. On today's Part of My Take, Week 1 is here, and we're ready to break down every single game from Sunday and Friday, because we didn't talk about the Packers and the Eagles. We're going to do fastest 2 minutes to start the show. We've got Who's Back of the Week. We're talking football start to finish, nothing better, and it's brought to you by our friends at DraftKings. TD Tutty taking it to the house, in for 6. Whatever you call a touchdown, one thing's for sure, touchdowns matter more at DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NFL. On the ground, in the air, from the special teams or defense. We don't care how they score them. We want to bet on touchdowns. And DraftKings is the #1 place to bet touchdowns. Ready to place your first NFL bet? Try betting on something simple like a player to score a touchdown. Go to DraftKings Sportsbook app and make your bet today. We have the Jets versus the 49ers, Monday Night Football. Garrett Wilson to score? Why not? I like Garrett Wilson to score. What do you like, PFT?
I like Breece Lightning.
Breece Hall. Okay. So if you're ready to do a touchdown dance of your own, new DraftKings customers bet $5 to get $250 in bonus bets instantly and get 1 month of NFL Plus Premium. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use code TAKE. That's code TAKE for new customers to get $250 in bonus bets when you bet just $5 and get 1 month of the NFL Plus Premium. Only on DraftKings. The crown is yours. Okay, let's go. Welcome to Part of My Take, presented by DraftKings. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use code TAKE. That's code TAKE for new customers to get $250 in bonus bets when you bet just $5 and get 1 month of NFL Plus Premium only on DraftKings. The crown is yours. Today is Monday, September 9th, Week 1. Fumble. We start in Indianapolis, where Susan B. Anthony Richardson is trying to put a stop to Week 1 Colts fans' suffrage when he hit Alec Paul Pierce with a 60-yard bomb, making Indy fans everywhere poop their pants with excitement. Unfortunately, the Texans had other plans, as Stephon Riggs welcomed all the haters to the course, scoring twice on Sunday. No word if he cried afterwards. After being showed the door by the DN Cincinnati Bengals, Joe Biden Mixon proved he isn't actually dead, as he had 159 yards without tripping over his feet once. Texans 29, Colts 27. What?
In Western New York, after taking a couple early shots, Kyler Murray stepped up and stepped in. He is a gamer, giving Cardinals an early 17-3 lead. Tim Allen took out all the tools in his toolbox as the Bills hoped for some home improvement after last year. Keon, I'm a coal man, made his debut. And speaking of souls, DeMar Hamlin is still alive as he got the start on the way to a win.
Prayers for DeMar, Boom.
And no one circles the wagons like the Buffalo Bills. The Bills 34, the Cardinals 28.
We go abroad to Brazil Friday night to our reporter who is not able to tweet himself, Max Salente.
We go to Sao Paulo, where we had a classic matchup between Love Hurts. Jalen Curse had Eagles fans cussing at the TV early with 2 early turnovers in the first, but Saquon roughly was playing like a dog and brought the Birds back to take the lead. Zach Bon Jovi was attacking the quarterback all night, and many were saying he gave Love a bad game. with a chance to take the lead late in the fourth, Matt, the one score, chose to kick a field goal and make a one-score game a one-score game. Eagles win 34-29.
Thank you very much, Max. Beautiful singing. Back stateside in Chicago, we're in a touching tribute to Jeremy Allen White. This season of the Bears is going to be taken a lot more serious than the previous two. Fans were uneasy watching the Bears offense, wondering if they finger-nailed their first pick, but it was Jonathan Biles and the special teams that trampolined them into scoring. Will Jan Levis and Gould has gone snip, snap with the start of his career, and it snapped more than it snipped on Sunday after throwing a large pick titty. Because she's got big tits, Teach.
They're fake.
Jan Levis and Gould, she's got big tits.
They're fake, boom.
That's why they got back together. Bears 24, Titans 17.
Down to Atlanta, where they swapped Russie for Jussie, and Ray, you get off of McCloud, was working on a revenge game against the Steelers. And speaking of revenge games, Bijan Robinson rushed the ball 18 times. Kyle Pitts scored a touchdown, leaving slack-jawed Arthur Smith saying, "I didn't know you could do that." Cam Johnson, whose name literally translates to Jeffrey Toobin, got knocked out of the punting game early, but the special teams came to the rescue as Boswell that ends well after Chris kicked 6 field goals and a punt in relief. The Steelers 18, the Falcons 10.
Let's head to Cincinnati, where we have Henry Lockwood on the scene for the big Patriots win.
We head to the depths of the jungle of Cincinnati, where Ramondre, I want Iguodala, Stevenson got the scoring started going early with the second quarter score. At halftime, Joey Chestnut said Brat Summer isn't over yet, taking down 18 brats in 10 minutes to beat 6 other people. Gerard Mayo for Yale had his defensive line ripping all day, holding the Bengals to 10 points on his way to his first win as an NFL head coach. Lighthouse 16, Jungle 10.
Thank you, Henry. Out west to Seattle, where Denver is thinking this is the year. Bo Nix has improved so much under this new offense. He's focused. He's having fun. I wouldn't be surprised if he's a dark horse for the MVP. The refs were something Gaz has never done, as they sing, you can dance if you want to. It's safe to dance. Everyone do the safety dance, as the Broncos got 2 safeties in the first half. Kenneth Brandon Walker asked the Seahawks fans, why are you hollering after a tough first half, but then put the team on his back, leading the Seahawks to a 26-20 win?
Whoop, whoop, whoop. Over to Tampa Bay, as the commies tried to limit price controls on all the inflated Bucs. Mike Evans gate Colt 2 touchdowns and looked like he was sailing through space on a comet, as Commanders fans wanted to put on their new Nikes and pull over a big purple blanket on their faces, drifting off into the sweet embrace of the unknown. The Commanders cut the lead to 10, and Commies head coach showed off his Danalytics by kicking an extra point and cutting it to 9. Unlike the Miami Police Department, this Washington defense wasn't stopping anything at all, as every Florida receiver made it into the end zone on time. Despite the efforts of the Supreme Court, this Baker was unstoppable. Meanwhile, the DC quarterback couldn't keep his helmet on, as Jaden Daniels Day-Lewis went method acting as Nancy Reagan, being very, very careless with his head. Tampa Bay buries the Commanders 37-20.
Standing on a corner, Jameis Winston, Cuyahoga, such a fine sight to see. It's Dak, my lord, can Jerry Jones afford to pay Dak Parsons and CD? Is that Tom Brady? His hair's looking wavy. Keep Deshaun away from the huddle and the ladies. Cowboys 33. Browns 17.
It's week 1 for singing too, boom.
And that was week 1, fastest 2-minute, presented by our good friends at Chevy. There's a reason we've never done a Mount Rushmore pickup trucks, and that's because, for Pardon My Take, there's only one pickup truck, the Chevy Silverado. Silverado is a partner you can depend on. We've all spent time driving and using the Silverado for all kinds of Pardon My Take jobs. I was in the electric one, the EV, the other day. It's incredible. Massive screens, up to 8 cameras with 14 different views to help make driving, towing, and parking all easier. We love the bold, blacked-out look of the new Silverado HD Trail Boss, so head over to Chevy.com to build your own Silverado or Silverado HD and check out all the current offers on Silverado. Discover a world of strength and capability all behind the wheel of our favorite truck the Chevy Silverado. Okay, week 1 in the books. We're watching the fourth quarter of the Rams-Lions game. As we tape this, we will do that game last. But, boys, football is all the way back. It was great to be with the fellas in the gambling cave.
I forget how much football happens at once. Just simultaneous football all day long.
I also forget how quick it goes by because I feel like you just blink and then it's boom, Carrie Underwood in your face. It was great, though, to be
I'm not
back.
going to complain about that.
No, I listen. It was a great Sunday. It was a lot of fun to be with the guys watching ball, every game going fast pace, witching hour. It's just great to be back. It's great to be back. So let's dive in, shall we? Should we do it?
Let's do it.
Let's do it. So we're gonna. If this is your first fall with us on Pardon My Take, we recap every single game from Sunday and this week, also from Friday, because we obviously didn't talk about the Eagles' 34-29 win against the Packers in Sao Paulo. Max, good win.
Sometimes it's all right to win sloppy.
Sometimes it's all right to win sloppy.
Sometimes
I also should say before anything, thank God Jordan Love is not seriously injured. I think we all were rooting for that.
For him not to be seriously.
Yeah, for it to be nothing.
Yep.
It basically was nothing. He's going to be back in 3 to 4 weeks. I know that I was sitting in bed worried, and I was just like, please hope he's okay, and he's okay.
Yeah, he might be okay. I don't know if the Packers are going to be okay without him because Malik Willis got in for a Hail Mary, and at some point Malik Willis played quarterback in his career.
Yeah.
At some point he was thought highly of.
For Liberty?
For Liberty.
Is that real?
The schedule was not great at Liberty.
Yeah.
But yeah, Malik at one point could throw a football, and he didn't know how to throw a Hail Mary at the end of it. It was a weird scenario down in Brazil because you had the grass looking like the sod father,
Which
just immigrated, like ran away from the law,
Yeah.
and was a fugitive down in Sao Paulo.
The grass was not great. People were trying to blame the grass on Jordan Love's injury. I would say that's stupid. You should blame Jalen Carter for being dirty.
Dirty player, yeah.
Dirty player trying to injure people. I think
Yeah.
that would be the more the blame. The grass had nothing to do with that injury.
You can blame the grass for making the game hard to watch, especially in the first half.
Yeah.
But why don't they just change the cleats immediately? Why don't they go out for warm-ups and they're like, yeah, you know what? I'd have to wear the long cleats.
I also love when people see the NFL playing on grass that's shitty and then having this like epiphany where they say to themselves, we have, multi-million-dollar athletes, a billion-dollar corporation, and we're sending them down to Brazil on this shitty field just for the almighty dollar. The NFL has no shame. They don't care about player safety. If it took you that long, if it took you till Friday night to figure out the NFL doesn't care about player safety, welcome to the party. We've been here for a very long time.
Yeah, and ironically, Brazil is the last place I would expect to have a problem with too much grass on the field.
Yeah.
It seems like given their waxing strategies, that wouldn't be an issue. It's been apparent every time they send a team over to Germany or England or now Brazil, Mexico City. We have football stadiums in the United States.
Yes.
They have football stadiums in the other countries, and they have to put new turf down every single time. And then they act shocked that the new turf installation wasn't up to par for NFL games.
They have little 120-pound people running around, barely running around, kicking a ball around, and then you put a 300-pound man on the field trying to tackle each other. Yeah, it's going to look different.
I don't know. Neymar flops pretty hard. When he hits the ground, he'll roll over like 4 or 5 times. So
kind of vindicated. Maybe he wasn't flopping this whole time.
Maybe
it was just the grass.
Shitty grass.
Yeah, shitty grass has been having him do this.
It was it was kind of a sloppy game for a little bit. Jalen Hurts had his ups and his downs. I think we can say that the tush push, that was that was Jason Kelce.
It's been nerfed.
It was Jason Kelce that was responsible for the tush push. It was his tush.
Yeah.
That was doing most of the pushing.
Yep. It's been nerfed.
It's been completely nerfed right now. I don't know if they did steal our phrase for it and call it the Brazilian butt lift.
Yes.
I saw that. Must credit.
Max, do you now, finger pointing at you, gun pointing at you, do you now realize that we actually weren't joking when we said that Nick Wright was kind of genius for saying that Jalen Hurts should have thrown more interceptions in preseason in training camp because he looked shitty.
No, he didn't.
Yeah, dude.
Max, he looked bad.
Come on, Max.
He had bad moments, and then he had good moments.
Yeah, but he had some really bad moments.
But saying he looked shitty, Matt Stafford threw his shitty pick. He's having a good game. The fumble wasn't his fault.
You can be honest,
There was moments
Max.
that he had. There were bad moments that he had. There were good moments that he had.
This is not what Max was saying on Friday night.
Because overreacting. But now
the touchdown pass to Saquon was very nice.
Touchdown pass to Saquon was a perfect ball.
That was okay. So there you go. That was good.
Yeah,
but he looked rusty.
he had some bad moments. He had some good moments.
Saquon's pretty awesome though. Huh?
Saquon is the best.
Do you think like if the New York Giants had to do it all over again, do you think that they would give Daniel Jones a massive contract extension and let Saquon Barkley walk on a low ball?
No. That was one of those ones
embrace debate
we thought was stupid in the moment.
In the
That's
moment.
not even hindsight.
In the moment.
That was just you guys are dumb in the moment. But yeah, Max, I feel like that was I think we talked about it on Friday's show. But the new defensive coordinators, whenever you're trying to install a new system, you're going to have weird moments. It almost felt like a college game at points where there was just receivers running wide open down the field on both sides, like because they both were new defensive coordinators. A win's a win, and the Eagles are loaded. Like I think the Eagles are going to be a problem this year. I know that there's Jalen Hurts. There's some question marks. You even have them yourself. But yeah, the Eagles are good.
Yeah, it was a good win. It was a weird game. They traveled 10 hours to get there. Well, not going to overreact after week one. I wish Hurts played a little bit better, but he played well enough to win the game.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you guys got to win. That's big. And if you're a Packers fan, you're probably happy that obviously happy that it's not worse than what it sounds like. But for the next month or so, you've probably got some questions about whether or not Malik Willis is the guy.
Mm-hmm. But thankfully, Jordan Love's okay.
Is Malik Willis the answer to any question that's ever been asked?
Is there a really good guy that you would want to help someone on the street?
If I was homeless, name one NFL quarterback that you would like to see come around the corner with a handful of windbreakers and sweatpants and maybe a Tupperware filled with food.
Yeah.
Malik Willis, probably that guy.
If I was looking for, hey, what's one of the cool names of a player in the NFL? Malik Willis.
Yeah, name one NFL player whose name sounds a lot better than he is.
Yeah, Malik Willis
is probably 1A.
He is the answer to that question. Also, very fun story for this game was all the beat reporters sending their stories or their tweets back to the states for their wives and significant others to tweet out.
Yep.
That was a really cute story that completely just forgot about saying the part where they decided to play a game in a dictatorship.
Yeah,
It was like, this is so cute. The wives are tweeting it back from Philly and Wisconsin.
Yeah.
But why? Oh yeah, because we played in a dictator is running Brazil.
Bolsonaro has been hospitalized with an acute case of NFL fever. It's life-threatening.
Yeah.
It was funny to see. Sal Paolantonio was down there, and so I wonder, these guys, if they're sending texts to their wives back home, and then their wives are tweeting them out, their wives are also probably reading all the DMs and stuff.
Oh yeah.
So I wonder if anybody was sliding into Sal Pal's wife's DM.
I hope they got a little bit of the mentions too.
Yeah.
Just getting to live one day in your husband's or wife's mentions and be like, wow, this is the shit they deal with.
You piece of shit. You hate the Eagles. You always have.
Yeah, fuck you. You said this guy's injured. He's back out there.
Eagles fans are pretty reasonable. I don't think that they see that.
I love that one Eagles fan who was at the big statue of Jesus Christ. Just a Brazilian just out there on a Friday seeing Eagles fans in the wild. They have to be like, what is going on?
Yeah,
what is this?
He's got the mohawk, the face paint at Christ the Redeemer.
They're just screaming at random people to do this chant. I guess soccer culture is very similar, but still, there's something about Philadelphia that just makes it extra special and in your face.
Oh, Philadelphia travels. Yeah. That could be just a travel show in general. Find the biggest Philly scumbag and just send them abroad as many places as possible.
I don't understand. You couldn't pay me to go abroad for a football game when I could just watch it on TV.
On TV, at home.
And also miss the rest of the football games. And I guess Friday you don't, but the London game where you just can't watch the rest of the games?
Yeah, that stinks. I do love, as a fan, though, we had a game Thursday, we had a game Friday, we had college football all day Saturday, we had NFL Sunday, then NFL Monday night.
Yeah.
That's a pretty good 5 days of football watching on TV.
No, Tuesday's gonna come and I'm gonna be wrenched over my toilet, just puking, having withdrawals.
Yeah, it's gonna be tough, but we can make it through.
Yeah, we can make it through.
We always do.
We have Thursday coming back up.
Max, do you think it's kind of a cuck move for the Philadelphia Eagles to wear black on their uniforms instead of green because they're afraid that the local fans don't like the color green?
I don't think that they said that.
That's what
I think
heard.
that's what
that's
I
that's
heard that
the
as
report.
well.
I don't think that.
Yeah,
I don't think that.
No,
I did hear that.
I heard that
anywhere.
from several reporters' wives.
Yeah,
I don't think that was confirmed anywhere. So
yeah. Okay. Well, good win, Max. Great win.
Yep.
You beat the
1-0.
Packers. I was
1-0.
very
Yeah.
upset at you for a while during that game that you weren't going to beat the Packers. Also, our good friend Matt LaFleur, he kicked a field goal down one score to go down one score.
Yeah, in the fourth quarter.
In the fourth
late.
quarter.
It's kind of his thing.
I understood it a little bit more. Wait, they ended up losing how much did they lose by? 5?
5, yeah.
5, yeah. But they kicked the field goal
To go down 2.
2. I get it a little bit more because then you can win with a field goal. But I'd still rather try to convert on fourth down and score a touchdown.
Yeah, you want 6 there. You want 6 at the end of that drive.
When you're down 5, you want 6.
Can we just recklessly speculate who we would want to see step in for the Packers?
Yeah, Ryan Tannehill.
Ryan Tannehill. You want to see him?
Yeah.
You really want to see Ryan Tannehill? Ryan Tannehill?
I would like the Packers to lose.
You would like
yes,
Ryan
I
Tannehill.
want Ryan
Yeah.
Tannehill to step in for the Packers. Actually, I want Malik Willis. I think you got to give him at least 4 games.
Give him a shot. You don't want to hurt Malik's confidence.
No.
You don't want him to think that he's not the answer.
Yeah.
I would like to see
Flacco should have waited.
Joe Flacco
He shouldn't have.
Brett
signed
Favre
back up.
Brett Favre could play. He could play. Just let him play.
I was thinking about Favre yesterday, and there's a good chance that he like didn't go anywhere because he's like, I got to be close to home base in case the phone rings.
There's a pretty good chance that he had Ed Werder just call the Packers and say, "Hey, are you hearing anything about Brett?"
Yeah.
But he was put up to it.
Brett Favre just tweets out of nowhere, just so you know, all my court cases are up in jeopardy right now. I won't be sentenced to anything for at least another 9 months.
I could travel out of state.
I'm not currently wearing an ankle monitoring system.
Brett Favre would do
anyone
it.
wants me. I think if you asked him, he would. Yeah, for sure.
Matt Flynn.
Matt Flynn, Blake Bortles,
Blake Bortles out there.
Packers legend.
And Matt LaFleur knows him.
Really, Joe Flacco has become a very valuable trading piece right now.
They should let Joe Flacco just go from team to team. Every week you have to drop Joe Flacco and then he gets picked up.
Yeah, Jameis.
Yeah, Jameis
in Green Bay.
But that would break me. No, I can't. We can't have that because then I would just that would break me. I don't want that.
Let's just get ahead
Malik Willis.
Let's get ahead of Florio and say Colin Kaepernick
Yeah,
to the Green Bay Packers.
he's ready to go.
It's only been 8 years since he's played.
I'm sure he's done a workout in a closed workout that Florio's gotten wind of in the last couple months.
Yeah.
He's looking just as good as ever.
Can we just put out the report? Part of my take is reporting that Colin Kaepernick is in consideration by some to be the Green Bay Packers bridge quarterback.
Yes.
Until Jordan Love returns.
Who is their third quarterback right now? Oh, they don't have one. You got to have Malik Willis. He's got to be the guy.
The emergency quarterback should just be a lottery of all Packers owners. That's something that you get when you buy the piece of fake stock.
Yeah.
As I am a Packers owner, actually. As one Green Bay Packers owner, or the Green Bay Packers owner is considering bringing in Colin Kaepernick.
There it is.
Me.
You heard it right there. Okay. Should we go to the Sunday's games? Bears 24, Titans 17. The Bears are 1-0. They did not score an offensive touchdown. Caleb Williams looked really bad, but the Bears are 1-0, and I don't give a fuck. Well, I do actually care a little bit because I really wish he had played better because he was not good. He looked like nothing really worked. You could, like, the best case scenario you could say is, Keenan Allen dropped a touchdown. He did. But other than that, the offense was bad. But this is also why I was so excited about this season and said over and over that Caleb Williams is going into a better situation than any Bears quarterback ever, was partially because of the defense. And the defense was awesome. And the defense completely bailed, and special teams bailed the Bears out. And I had the biggest sigh of relief when that game ended because this would have been the longest week of my life if the Bears had lost that game with the way Caleb Williams played and then having to play the Texans on Sunday Night Football.
Yeah, Caleb didn't play great, but he also didn't lose the game for you.
No, he didn't make it.
So
He didn't throw any picks.
So that's nice because in the past you've played these games where your defense and special teams have played lights out.
Yeah.
And then you're like, if we just had a guy that wouldn't lose the game for us, we'd be fine. That's what Caleb did today. He did look nervous, especially in the first half.
No, he didn't look good. He said himself, he's like, I played bad.
He was like falling away from throws. He looked uncomfortable, and that's probably just nerves. And it's funny because they asked him whether or not he was nervous about week 1. And he said, no, I've never been nervous in my entire life. I don't get nervous.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just right now feeling like I'm very anxious to get out there and play, and I don't want to let anybody down. And he just went on to perfectly describe what feeling nervous was.
Yeah.
But he just didn't say. He's like, I'm not nervous. I'm just very, very worried about not playing well.
And he also probably said that he was not nervous because he had never played in an NFL game behind the Bears' offensive line.
Yeah.
There were some plays where, I mean, that one sack he took, he probably shouldn't have spun 3 times, but it was over right away.
I'm okay when quarterbacks spin 3 times, but when you spin, you have to actually like move to the side when you spin.
Or forward.
He was just spinning, like he was like trying to make himself dizzy. The idea of the spin move is to spin away from something.
Yeah, but I'm not going to sit here and say, oh, the offensive line is to blame. The offensive line was bad, and that's a concern for me. It was a concern going into the season. The run game did not look great. It couldn't really get going forward. Caleb played bad, but the Bears won. And 1-0 is 1-0, and I'm not going to apologize for 1-0. And that defense is so goddamn good, and that's what's making me like the most excited. And Caleb will figure it out. Yeah. So it was 17-0 at halftime, and I was getting very down and going to a dark place. Also, by the way, Velus Jones just lives to torture me. At some point, a guy just being the fastest guy, you have to have more than that. And unfortunately, the more for Velus Jones is he also fumbles. So he's the fastest guy, but also fumbles. Mm-hmm. Those are his 2 defining traits. But that was when it started to get really bad, when he just...
That was like a comic book fumble.
If you saw the dots, you can watch replay the dots. They do the graph. He kicked the ball forward 20 yards. It was crazy. So Velus Jones, I really need him to not be in my life anymore. But PFT, I have something for you, because I was doing this when I got really in a dark place. I went and started looking it up. Here are the guys who lost their first start in the NFL.
Okay.
Troy Aikman.
Good.
Peyton Manning.
Good. These all guys that were on Mount Rushmore.
Yeah, Dan Marino.
Yep.
Joe Montana.
Pretty good.
Eli Manning.
Yep.
Matthew Stafford. These are all future Hall of Famers. And
Eli Manning, future Hall of Famer?
Yeah, Eli Manning will be in the Hall of Fame.
Okay.
Are you kidding me? Who runs the league, dude?
Yeah, it's true.
I mean, get out of here. Oh, man. Goff just threw a bad pick, and the Lions might lose, and that will be that'll be a sad boy move for me.
We have a new stat that's going around, though, now. It's not the Peyton Manning interception stat. It's the John Elway first start stat.
Yes.
What did he go, like 2 for 10 or something?
Yeah, or 11, yeah.
Yeah, and then he got benched immediately after that. That's a good stat. That's a good nice comforting stat to look at when your quarterback's not playing well.
It was a bad game. I also have another stat, and again, I'm not going to make excuses for a bad game, but this is maybe it's preseason, lack of preseason, lack of training camp, whatever you want to call it. Oh, is that pick? Is that going to count? Do you know on Sunday, now the NFL is a passing league. It's a passing league, right? On Sunday, there was only one quarterback who threw for over 300 yards. That's pretty crazy.
That is pretty crazy.
That was Tua. One of them was just an 80-yard pass to Tyreek Hill, did everything else. And then there was only 2 quarterbacks who threw over 250 yards. So the passing was just bad on Sunday overall. There was 5 quarterbacks that threw for 200 to 250 yards. So, and then everyone else was under 200 yards. And then there was Caleb Williams who had 93 yards. But passing was down overall.
Passing was down. Defenses are ahead of offenses in week 1.
Yeah. I mean, some of these numbers, Justin Herbert threw for 144 yards. Kirk Cousins for 155.
So here's
Trevor Lawrence for 162.
Here's the stat right here. John Elway's first start, he was 1 for 8, 14 yards, a pick, 4 sacks, no rushing yards. But they won.
Hall of Fame.
But they
I
won.
know he wasn't on my list.
Yeah.
Yeah. So wins a win. I'm not gonna apologize for wins. But God damn it, I'm so happy they won, because that would have been a torturous week of discourse about Caleb Williams, because he played bad.
Caleb will be better. He's a good player.
Yes.
I've seen him play better. I've seen him make throws. I know that he's a good quarterback. He'll be better. The defense and the special teams won't need to do as much to help them win.
But maybe they will.
Maybe they will. Maybe they'll do it anyways.
Yeah, maybe they'll do it anyways. And Will Levis had a day to forget. Let's just leave it at that, because that throw, he did the surrender cobra in mid-play.
Yeah, on his knees. His knees.
Yeah, he threw that one.
Looked like he was putting the scrunchie on.
That was just one too many. Like, hey, I'm just gonna try to. He was already in trouble. Just throw it up there, And that was the game right there because it was the pick six, and then our explosive offense got a 2-point conversion.
Will Levis does not give a fuck if he gets hit.
No.
That dude.
He was in a back brace for half the game.
They put the heating pad on over his like uniform.
Yeah.
I don't know if that works. I don't think that it does.
No.
But yeah, he was getting banged out.
Yeah.
Unfortunately for Will, that Sorenda Cobra is going to be
it was tough.
around for a long time.
It was very tough. Mid-play. Okay. Next game, Bills 34, Cardinals 28. I'll tell you what, the haters had a moment. Because Josh started his season with a fumble in the red zone, and the Cardinals were up quickly 17-3. And then Josh Allen was like, "Oh yeah, I forgot I'm Josh Allen." And 6 of the next 8 drives, they had scores. He had 2 touchdowns throwing, 2 touchdowns rushing. He's now tied all time with Steve Young for multiple touchdowns throwing and rushing in a game.
That's pretty good. He was jumping over people. He landed on the ball at some point and may have broken his left hand.
Yeah.
But he was basically like, I don't really care if my left hand's broken.
Yeah.
I don't throw my left hand.
He was awesome after that. The fumble was like, oh, God, what just happened? Like red zone, Josh Allen, don't do that. And then he was, 17 for 22 and 228 yards throwing. He was awesome. He was doing Superman plays.
Yeah, the Bills defense didn't look great for the most part.
No, they're a work in progress.
They're a work in progress, but they feel like we say that every year about the Bills.
Yeah. Well, who was on that told us it was actually good that they got all their injuries out of the way, because last year was like, oh, they lost Matt Milano in the middle of the season or a couple games in. This year they lost him in training camp, so they already know.
This year they didn't even have enough time to get accustomed to having Matt Milano on the defense to feel the impact of losing him. They didn't have Tre'Davious White as their cornerback and rely on him enough to feel the impact of losing him. So yeah, that means that the other guys just won't get injured because they've already used up all their injuries on the season.
Yes, exactly.
It's a good point. And if you're a Bills fan, you're just happy to escape with a win. I saw that they did set up a DUI checkpoint on the way out of the stadium.
Oh, man.
Directly out of the stadium. They're trying to generate some revenue up in Orchard Park. That's a tough scene for a lot of Bills fans.
That's essentially when they have the videos of the bears, the grizzly bears, and the salmon are all spawning and swimming upstream.
Yeah.
They just can put their paw in and they pull out 10 salmon. That's what that was.
There will be a Bills fan that goes to court and says that this is entrapment.
Yeah.
Like I was at a Bills game.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to get
Bills home opener.
I'm not going to get drunk at a Bills home opener, Your Honor.
That was the by the way, the Cardinals, I said it before the season started, but the Cardinals are going to be my official, this is just a fun watch team, because Kyler looked awesome. Their defense is not great. They didn't even get Marvin Harrison going.
Marvin Harrison was wide open on that one play, though.
James Conner is still the angriest, most upright runner that God ever created. And, I think they're just officially a fun team to watch.
They're going to play hard. We know that. They did that last year. They'll knock you around on defense. They'll be physical. And Kyler looked good. Kyler was making a bunch of good plays in the first half at least. He had some jump passes, some weird angles. He was scrambling around, looking real cute out there.
I do think he got a little shorter.
It's the white.
Okay.
The white made him look shorter.
Yeah, there was one run where I was like, damn, he's short.
Well, you forget how short he is.
Yeah.
After like 9 months of not seeing Kyler Murray ever, now you see him and you're like, holy shit, that dude, he looks
out there.
He looks like he's 5'5" when he's on the field.
Yeah.
It's the way that his little head bobbles around.
Yeah, and he runs kind of side to side.
Yeah, like a toddler.
While going forward.
Yeah, it's like a toddler.
Yeah. But good win for the Bills, because I know that there was probably some Bills Mafia that was a little nervous there when it was 17-3, and they're like, what's going on? We also got a kick return, which was fun.
Yep.
Because we were promised more kick returns, and we got one. That was cool, especially if you bet the Cardinals like I did.
Yeah, it was a fun play. It's fun when it works, when they actually like run it out. But I think in order to make teams stop just trying for touchbacks every time, they have to. You get the ball at the 30 now on a touchback.
Yeah,
it goes out of the back of the end zone. They gotta make it worse. They gotta say you get the ball at the 35 if it goes out of the back.
Well, and we also saw more kicks out of bounds going to the 40, because I feel like kickers are trying to be more precise with it.
They're trying to get cute
and they
with
fuck it up.
The one guy that has the hang of that, BA from the Cowboys.
Yeah. Well, he is the guy now.
He's the new guy.
Aubrey is the guy.
Yeah.
Justin Tucker's no longer the guy. I mean, we're going to get to the Cowboys game, but that 66-yarder that he nailed.
Yeah.
I can't believe they didn't let him try a 71er.
71 would have been fun.
Are kickers too good?
Kickers got really, really good, and we tried to fuck with their psychology by backing up the extra point to make the extra points no longer gimmies, like actually missable, and then they just stepped their game up after that. Kickers,
they're too good.
If you look at how good kickers were in the mid to late 90s compared to today, it's unreal how much better they are. And we thought that kickers in the 90s were really, really good because they weren't like the old-fashioned guys that were, like smoking cigarettes on the sideline, part-time mechanics. They step out there and they toe poke it from the 60s. But kickers are just really, really good now.
And I think it's even bleeding into the college game. Like I've seen some kickers make 50-plus yarders in the college game, which feels like it never happens.
Yeah.
And I've seen a bunch of them this year.
Well, now we've got them going to camps when they're like 8 years old.
Yeah, and Australia's just pumping them out.
Yeah.
Left and right. Okay. Next up, Texans 29, Colts 27. The 11-year streak continues, so this is officially 11th year the Colts have lost their Week 1 game, which is pretty shocking, pretty crazy. But they were in this game. Anthony Richardson, I guess I would say I see it because how can you not when he had probably the most impressive throw of the day where he slipped and still threw recovered and threw a 60-yard dime to Alec Pierce, which went 65 yards in the air. But he also only completed 9 passes.
Did he really?
Yeah. 9 for 19 for 212 yards, and he had a 60 and a 54-yard touchdown.
Because I was going to say, I distinctly remember another long pass that he completed too.
Yes.
But he's fun. He's really, really fun to watch.
I see the vision. I just don't know if it will work.
And he did a good job running with the ball too.
Yeah.
Still took a lot of hits. I feel like that's just something that he's going to do. If you're a Colts fan, I think you can put away the fantasy of we need to have Anthony Richardson learn to take care of his body more. I don't think that's going to happen. I think what you have is an awesome quarterback who's very fun to watch and will put himself in harm's way all the time.
Yes.
I don't think you're going to change him.
Yes.
I think that's kind of who he is.
Yeah.
Because they probably spent the last 12 months telling him, hey, we need you to be more careful with your body when you're running with the football. And he's like, no, I got it. And then he gets out on the football field. He's like, no, fuck everybody.
Yeah.
I'm going to run through people.
Yeah.
So
I'm going to throw absolute rockets.
I'm going to throw bombs.
And then I'm only going to complete 9 passes.
Yeah. I did not know that he only completed 9 passes.
I want to double check because maybe I have it wrong. I'm pretty sure he went 9 for 19, which is a crazy stat line given the 2 touchdown passes that he threw that were awesome to watch. I mean, that 1-2, I consider myself a doubter of Anthony Richardson, but watching that throw that he made to Alec Pierce, I get it. I get how you can be like, if we can just figure out a way to get this guy to be consistent. Yeah, 9 for 19 for
9
12.
for 19.
If we can find a way to get him to be consistent and make the short passes as well as he makes the long passes, I understand being like, this is worth the project because very few guys have what he did on that throw.
Yeah, but you know what he is? Like, as someone who's not a fan, well, I guess technically I kind of am a fan. I'm a season ticket holder for the Colts. But without any real skin in the game, he's a guy that if he's playing on one of the side TVs, I'm going to spend a disproportionate amount of my time watching every snap that he takes on offense.
Yes.
Because he's very fun, and when he takes off or if he uncorks one, it's like you want to watch this guy play live.
Yes. The other big story from this game is Joe Mixon is still good. He had 159 yards rushing, but the bigger story is Joe Mixon is an absolute psycho. He went no gloves.
Yeah.
Which was maybe the hardest thing you can do as a running back, no gloves.
Nick Chubb does that, right?
Yeah.
Nick Chubb does that, and sometimes he tapes his fingers a little bit.
I mean, I get hurt thinking about that. Like you get stepped on, you're at the bottom of the pile, you have no glove. I know the gloves don't stop. If someone steps on you, gloves aren't going to stop it, but it feels like it was going to stop it. You know what I mean?
It feels better holding the ball. You get skin-on-skin contact. If you wear a glove, it's like taking a raincoat with a shower.
Right.
It's very intimidating. What's the guy from the Bengals that does that? Defensive end. He was on the Saints.
Hendrickson.
He also goes no gloves, but on the defensive side.
Yes.
Maybe crazier.
It's just a crazy move no matter what, and I just because I know this will make no sense, but like I sleep with a shirt on because I always think like if someone like if an emergency happened, someone shot me, I'd rather have a shirt on. Not that it would stop it, but it would probably make it feel a little bit better.
And then if they take your body out on a stretcher, at least they're like, oh, that guy looks good.
Yeah.
He's wearing a shirt.
Oh,
He's
man.
got it together.
Goff just tried to throw another interception, and it was dropped. We'll get to this game, but that just happened. But yeah, Joe Mixon gloveless.
Gloveless is a good,
hard as fuck.
it's a good look. And CJ Stroud still good.
Still very good.
Still very, very good.
Yeah, but the scary thing from watching this game was that like the Texans, if Joe Mixon runs like that, their offense can't be stopped.
Yeah, Texans are all in.
Yeah, I also there was a true like Wild Boys moment between the two coaches because we had the Texans with 3 minutes left, up 2, decided on the 4th and goal on the 2-yard line, went for it when they could have kicked a field goal and got up 5. They went for it, got it. It was like, holy shit, that was crazy. Like you go up 5 there every time so that you can't lose the field goal. And then the Colts did the same thing where they were down 9 with like a minute and a half left on the 4th and 2 on the goal line, and they went for it and got it. Neither one made sense to me, but they both worked.
They were just going both fuck it mode.
Yeah, because like Shane Steichen, if you don't get that, the game's over. If you get the field goal, I guess I understand.
I like going for the touchdown there because you're at what, the 4-yard line?
Yeah, you're gonna then line?
So the chances of you getting that close,
right?
If you get the ball back, pretty low. But so I like that move.
They both were just wild. And then D'Amico Ryans, like I guess do it. I mean, you have CJ Stroud. If you have a play that you love, because the play did work perfectly and it was very open.
Yeah. Also, shout out to the Colts fans. When we gave away the tickets for this week, we didn't know if anybody was going to have a Joe Flacco Colts jersey. We thought maybe those wouldn't exist yet. I think we got 5 or 6 sent to us. Yeah. So shout out to EWLs for picking up the Flacco jerseys early.
Yeah.
It's very impressive.
Yeah. This game, I mean, it was a hard-fought game. The Texans are good. They're really, really good. I don't know. I'm going to probably find out how good they are on Sunday night.
Well, you remember last year, week 1? You remember what game that was for the Texans? It was Texans-Ravens.
Yeah.
And C.J. Stroud looked bad week 1. And everybody was like, no idea if C.J. Stroud was going to be any good at all. Looked like maybe not. And then a lot of things can happen. I say that maybe just because I lost week 1, and I'm trying to like remind myself things can change.
Things can change.
Things changed a lot for the Texans last year.
Yeah. It's actually shocking the Colts. So the only other thing I would say about Anthony Richardson is his boomer bust. The Texans had time of possession 40 minutes. That's a lot of minutes. Yeah. Double the minutes.
Yeah.
40 minutes to 20 minutes.
Maybe some more of those 11 passes that were incomplete.
Yeah,
maybe
but that also
is one or two more of those.
That's also a compliment to Joe Mixon because they just were able to pound the rock.
Are running backs back?
They might be.
I think running backs might be back.
Do you think the Bengals would have kept Joe Mixon if he had said, "Hey, I'm gonna go no gloves next year"?
Yes,
you have to.
Because he's a psycho.
It's a crazy move. 30 rushes for 159 yards.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bring back the bell cow.
He was a bell cow today. He was a big time bell cow.
I love that term. I don't even know what a bell cow is. Hank, what's a bell cow?
It's a cow with a bell.
Yeah.
Why do they say bell cow?
Come on. This guy won 2 bronze medals, and we're doing the celebration. That seems like a lot.
Who was that?
I don't know.
That it was a long distance runner. It was the first time we medaled in that.
Oh yes, that's right. You're
Twice.
right. You're right.
Yeah.
Okay, that guy actually is a badass because we don't win. White American dude isn't known for long distance. He basically won 2 gold medals.
Yeah, he beat the Kenyan.
Yeah, you're right. I remember that story, and I was like, how the fuck is he doing this? Okay, good call, memes. Yeah, Hank, what's a bell cow?
Why is a bell cow a running back that gets the ball like 40 times?
Bell cows pace the herd and model the way to go.
Okay, so they lead. It's a cow that.
Do they have a bell on them? I think a lot of the cows do because you got to be able to hear where they're going. Like when they're out in the pastures, you want to be able to bring them back.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I always thought. It's like so you don't lose your cow. Yeah. But this cow is wearing a bell, so the other cows don't lose him.
Got it.
It's an alpha. It's an alpha cow.
But isn't that what the dog is for? The cattle dog is for?
It herds them. But I think sometimes you don't need a herding dog if you have a strong enough leader.
Interesting.
If you got a true alpha.
Are these correct, Hank?
Yeah.
These are all correct?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right, should we do next game? Dolphins 20, Jaguars 17. So Tyreek Hill pulled a Scotty Scheffler, got detained, not arrested. Marlins man quickly texted me and called me to tell me that he wasn't actually arrested. He was just detained.
Yep.
Shout out Marlins man. He had it first.
The police officer is on administrative leave right now.
Yep.
The one that I guess took him out and took him to the ground.
Were any pants harmed?
We don't know if the pants were harmed yet, so I'm waiting for all the facts to come out before I comment on that. But it's interesting to notice that on both the morning that Scotty Scheffler was arrested and Tyreek Hill was taken out of his car,
I know where you're going.
Jeff Darlington was the first to report on both of them.
Mm-hmm.
That's interesting. I don't know, Big Guy, have you seen the movie with Jake Gyllenhaal called Nightcrawler?
There's a lot of them. Yeah.
Called Nightcrawler,
I have not.
where he's a journalist who always happens to be first on the scene
I've heard about it.
because he's trying to impress Rene Russo.
Yeah.
And he crosses some journalistic lines. I'm not saying that Jeff Darlington is calling these arrests in, but I am saying that I might say that if it happens again.
I'd agree. No one is more on the scene when an athlete gets arrested mere hours before a game or a golf match.
Yeah. So
It's also impressive how fast Scott Boras got there.
Oh, he was.
Drew
I think
Rosenhaus?
Drew Rosenhaus came out of the
yeah.
bushes, and Calais Campbell was also there. He also was detained momentarily, trying to break it up. But yeah, it was a very weird start to the day because I don't know how you guys reacted to it. But when I saw that video, I was like, there's no way this is either him or this just happened. And then Schefter was like, yeah, this just happened.
I thought it was maybe a collab with I Show Speed, the streamer.
That guy, how's that guy not pro?
I Show Speed?
Yeah.
He's a freak athlete.
He does everything.
Jumped over a car.
Everything he does, he's an insane athlete. Why is he not pro? In anything.
He probably makes more money streaming.
Probably.
Definitely.
But he beats everyone in races.
He's a freak athlete. Jumped over 2 cars.
Yeah. Back to back.
Yeah.
Pretty impressive. Yeah, it was very strange, but at the same time, if you had asked me which NFL player would I have not been shocked to find out got arrested on the way to the stadium,
Correct.
given his past, I probably would have said Tyreek Hill would be one of the first ones. But it seems like maybe he was speeding. You have to be speeding pretty fast in Miami to get arrested.
I would imagine his car was probably something that be like, wow, that's a weird car and it's going really fast. I never understood that when people have not even a Lambo, but one of those weird cars. You remember the 3-wheel cars that people have? And then you just go fast. Cops are like, all right, we're gonna take this guy in. They probably just want to look at the car.
If he was speeding that fast though to get arrested, he should have just kept going into the stadium.
Yeah.
And then by the time he got to the security guard, they're like, "Sorry, cops, you can't come in."
Yeah. I got a game.
Man's going to work. But yeah, Drew Rosenhaus was on the scene. He was on the sidelines immediately, being like, "My client did nothing wrong."
Yeah.
And I think he had 2 or 3 clients that were at the scene. And he just kept saying, my client showed up and saw that my client had been detained by the police. And then my client called me, and I told my client, Drew Rosenhaus, he obviously had a lot to deal with this morning, but he fucking loves being on TV. He loves being the guy that they go to ask these questions.
Yeah, and say, my client did nothing wrong. But then Tyreek obviously had the incredible 80-yard touchdown, did the handcuff touchdown celebration, which was very cool. He had to do that. This game, though, to me was just the most Jaguars game possible.
There's one sequence in particular.
Yeah.
With the Jaguars.
Yeah.
And it was a touchdown that turned into, was it an interception?
No, it was Travis Etienne. They were up 17-7, and he was running in basically free for a touchdown to go up 24-7. He got stripped. The Dolphins recovered in the end zone. And then the very next play was Tyreek Hill's 80-yard touchdown down the sideline.
Yeah.
And so it went from a potential 24 walk-in touchdown, 24-7 game to a 17-14 game in the matter of like 3 minutes. And that was it. That was it for the Jaguars. They went turnover on downs, 4 play and a punt, and a 3-and-out as their last 3 drives. And that was it. They just Jaguared it.
And you said that Tua was the only 300-yard quarterback today?
Yes.
Which is crazy because Tua didn't look that good.
No, they look clunky as an offensive unit. I think every team kind of looked clunky as an offensive unit. I think the only team, I don't even know who looked incredible offensively.
Cowboys look pretty good.
But Dak wasn't like lighting it up. The one team who looked really good offensively.
The Bucs.
Yeah, the Bucs. Baker looked awesome.
The Bucs. I have a feeling.
I apologize.
No.
I didn't mean to do that.
No, we can get to it. I am not going to take any offense at all in saying that the Commanders' defense stunk.
Yeah, but yeah, they look clunky. The one thing I did take away though that's not fair that the Dolphins decided to do is that A-Chain is now a receiver.
He's very good at it.
He caught 7 passes for 76 yards. That's not fair. They shouldn't be allowed to do that. They should be like, hey, you can't be a receiver too, dude. This is just too much speed.
Mm-hmm.
So, the Jaguars are just. I mean, Trevor Lawrence was 3 for 7 for 37 yards in the second half. I don't know what they were doing. I think Chaps told us they threw one pass after Etienne's fumble in the end zone. And it was just so Jaguars.
They were scared.
It was so Jaguars.
They were playing scared out there.
Yeah, they even so the fumble happened, then Tyreek Hill's 80-yard touchdown. Then Doug Peterson decided to go for it on 4th and 1 from his own 30, and he got stuffed. Now the Dolphins missed the field goal, but it was just a horrific 10 minutes for the Jaguars that buried them. And it feels like it's similar to last year where you like that one pass that I think it was to Gabe Davis that Trevor Lawrence made in the back of the end zone that was perfectly timed. Those things happen where like Trevor Lawrence is the guy. And then the Jaguars just become the Jaguars again and just fall all over themselves.
That might have been Brian Thomas.
That was the Brian Thomas one,
Gabe Davis did have a pretty good day today.
Yeah.
Tough.
There was a perfect pass.
Tough.
And you're like, oh, man, the anticipation, he just threw it right to where he was going to end up. But, yeah, the Jaguars are the Jaguars.
Yeah, the first half, it looked like the Jaguars were going to walk away with it. And it didn't look like it was a competitive game at all.
Do you think, I have a question, non-game related. Mike McDaniel, it's a little too much now with the look. The gold glasses was a little too much.
The gold, we knew he was going to do something extra swaggy this year. He has to like level up himself every offseason. And this year, it was the glasses, and he's got like a fro going, like a little mini wavy fro.
Yeah, I have no problem with the hair. The glasses was just wear regular glasses. I don't know. He looks like a Halloween costume, the glasses he's wearing. I had 2. I know we talk college football on Wednesdays, which we will, but I had 2 like, what's going on here? One was Mike McDaniel. The other is the Dylan Raiola thing is creepy. Like, I'm actually creeped out by it, how he's trying to steal Patrick Mahomes' life.
Mm-hmm.
It's weird.
Yeah.
Did you watch it at all? It's weird.
Yeah.
I don't think it's that weird.
You don't?
Not really.
I think it's the
Like
mannerisms.
the jumping up and down before the game is like it's.
No, the way he was warming up was basically a copycat for Patrick Mahomes, and the hair is exactly the same. It's weird.
Well, Mahomes calls him Lil Cuzzo.
I guess it's not weird if he's calling him Lil Cuzzo.
It's also like if you want to be the best quarterback in the world, like why not?
Just be yourself.
Emulate the best quarterback in the world.
I'm not saying he's a good quarterback. Nebraska's back. That's certifiably true. I was a little creeped out because it feels like he's trying to steal his identity. That was all. Max, do you agree?
I agree 100%. I think it's very I don't understand every single thing.
It's crazy.
It's the same number, the same arm sleeve, the same hair.
The facial hair's the same.
It's weird.
It's weird.
It's super weird.
I'm sorry, but I'm a little weirded out by it. You wouldn't be weirded out if someone did that exact same thing to Tom Brady?
No.
Really? Well, you didn't Did you watch college football?
Yeah.
Did you watch the Wisconsin game?
I didn't watch the Wisconsin game.
Oh, man.
Well, what would somebody...
I wanted some thoughts on it.
The difference is that Mahomes is much, much more animated than Tom Brady. So it's easier to copy him. Tom Brady would just be like not really saying a lot except for let's fucking go.
But if he had
and then winning football games.
If he did the same Botox, had the same hair.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just maybe I'm on an island. I'm a little weirded out by it. That's all. Again, he's a great quarterback.
I think a lot of people are. I saw the clip.
Really
I just saw the clip where it was like both of them jumping up and down or whatever, like stretching. Like that just looked like a normal pregame like stretch that like every quarterback does.
I saw the one where he was getting the ball snapped to him and he was like pretending to throw it with his left hand that looked exactly like Mahomes.
Well, also the whole like the haircut and the sunglasses and
the facial hair.
The facial hair, it looks he's intentionally trying to look like Mahomes. I think he's doing that so when he sees himself in the mirror, he's like a little kid that is like watching their favorite team on TV, and it's like, yeah, I'm Tom Brady. Like you get the jersey, you put it on, and you're like, I can be like that guy. He's doing that for his entire life.
Yeah, but also wouldn't you be mad if you were Matthew Stafford? That's your godson.
Yeah.
And he's doing it. He's doing Mahomes.
Yeah, I'd be like, come on, man. Why don't you just get some veneers and maybe just grow the beard out a little bit, but not the mustache? Don't you want to look like your godfather?
Right. By the way, the Lions are driving, and Jared just missed. Jahmyr Gibbs. He slipped. Oh, Jahmyr Gibbs slipped. They've driven right down the field. Oh, he slipped. That was a walk-in. Should we just let's pause for this play and see how it goes. 3rd and 2, 1:06 left in the game. It's 20-17. Rams. Lions are going left to right on the screen. You know how they say that on the
left to right across your radio dial.
Yeah, radio. That's what they say when you listen to a game on radio. They always give those contexts because people are listening to this, Hank. They're not watching it. True. All right, I'll do a quick ad, and then we can get to the rest of the game. Do we have anything else for Dolphins Jaguars besides the Jaguars or the Jaguars?
I feel for Tyreek Hill. I really do. He said that when he was getting detained, not arrested, that he told the police officers, one day I want to be a police officer.
Oh, he's going to do the Shaq thing?
Yeah, he's like, I respect you, so please don't arrest me because I want to be one of you one day.
Interesting.
Tyreek Hill would be a hilarious police officer.
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe that's the solution. Just give him some lights. Drive as fast as you want. And he's got some
surprised.
He's got some teal and orange lights going on.
Maybe not in Miami because Miami's got a lot going on, but I'm surprised in Green Bay or Cleveland, they don't just give all the players lights.
Yeah.
On game day.
Oh, Pittsburgh.
Yeah, Pittsburgh. Hey, Buffalo. Hey, you got to get to the game. Hit the lights and get to the game.
There's no bigger emergency in Pittsburgh than playing on the Steelers and having to get to the game on time.
Yeah. TJ Watt needs to get to that game.
Yeah.
All right. The official review. I'll do an ad. Game time. Football season is here, and we can't wait to get out to some games this fall with the help of Game Time, the official ticketing partner of Barstool Sports. You know how much we love Game Time. Now with their brand new Game Time Picks feature, they're making it even easier to get to a game. Game Time Picks filters out the fluff to show you only incredible deals on great seats so you don't have to waste time searching through thousands of tickets. I am actually going to Wisconsin, Alabama on Saturday. I'm really looking forward to losing by 30, but I use Game Time, and I use the Game Time Picks deal for great seats. So just pull up your chosen event and turn on the GT Picks setting at the top of the screen or browse the best local Game Time Picks deal near you on your Game Time app homepage. What are you waiting for? I'm going to that game on Saturday, and I'm doing it with Game Time. So download the Game Time app today and use code PMT to easily score great deals with new Game Time Picks. What time is it? Game Time. We're also brought to you by our friends at Supercuts. Supercuts knows what you think. It's quick, cheap haircut you can get almost anywhere. Well, you're right about quick, but Supercuts is not that cheap, not a bargain basement chop shop like some discount options out there. Supercuts just happens to have 2,000 reputable salons full of trained, proficient stylists who give great haircuts at reasonable prices. I'm actually going to go next week. I'm going to get my haircut. Memes is going to take me. Memes is treating me to a haircut at Supercuts next week.
Wow.
In fact, if I were to ask you to imagine a brand that was visited by nearly 25 million people last year with a satisfaction rating of 98%, what brand would come to mind? Would Supercuts? Probably not, but it should. Supercuts is super convenient. Salons let you check in at a time that works for you at supercuts.com or just walk right in. It's your hair. It's your call. Find a salon near you at supercuts.com. Supercuts, real smart hair. Okay, we're back. 3rd down, 25 seconds left. So they're going to try to – they have 2 timeouts. So they're going to try to get a first down here, then kick a field goal. And then we get free football.
Then we got free football, a little free Sunday night football. Just
free
keep it
football.
going. Keep this game going until Monday night.
Henry.
Yes.
The New England Patriots are 1-0.
Yes.
Congratulations, Hank.
Thank you.
What I tell you, Jacoby Brissett.
Yeah. He, by the way, so Patriots 16, Bengals 10. Pete Prisco, next time he comes on, we're going to have a word with him because Jacoby Brissett has the Patriots to 1-0. He said after the game, I think I cried 3 times before the game. He cried on the way in, and Gerard Mayo was like, why are you crying, man? You're about to win us this game. Jacoby Brissett, big crier.
Big crier. I like it, though.
Doesn't matter. Won that game.
You're allowed to cry before a football game.
Oh, before?
Yeah, or during the national anthem.
Yeah. This was not if you haven't won a Super Bowl.
You can cry not if you're a coach, like no Sean Moreno.
Yes.
He's allowed to cry. If you're a coach of either team, that's too much emotion.
Yes.
You got to be a leader of men.
You can't be crying if you're a coach before a Super Bowl.
No.
Because then everyone will be like, hey, remember when you cried and then lost the Super Bowl?
Yeah, and then that gif is just going to be used anytime you screw up.
Yeah. And that guy wearing the crazy pants was in the 500 level.
That's probably why he was crying.
Jalen Hurts' dick right this second.
He probably smelled Max, and that's why he cried.
Yeah. Hank.
Yes.
That was the Patriots are going to just do this to teams. They're going to get in rock fights. This was the definition of a rock fight. It was good defense, some special teams, some fumbles, run the ball, rock fight, win it 16-10. Are you feeling good?
Yeah.
1-0 club.
Yeah, 1-0 club. It's always good to win. You know, you didn't have high expectations for the year, but you go into a Sunday when you're expecting to get blown out and you win. It's fun.
Yeah.
You guys kept it ugly. And the Bengals did not look sharp at all.
This is what they do.
Well, what happened was T. Higgins, we thought maybe Jamar wouldn't play. Then Jamar's like, yeah, I'll play. And then T. Higgins isn't playing.
Said he got food poisoning.
But they never
He probably just had Skyline.
They start slow every year. They're 1-5 now in the Joe Burrow era. Week ones. Their one win was the overtime win they had against the Steelers. Remember?
Yep.
So they don't cover the spread. They don't win week one games. This is what they do. They start slow, and it's probably because your number one and number two receiver were in and out of practice and in and out of training camp. Joe Burrow's coming back from an injury.
Christian Gonzalez also played.
Yeah, no, and the Patriots
really
are. I think the Patriots are in that category of teams this year that you can't put them in. I know everyone thought they were going to be really, really bad. They're not going to be the Panthers of the world. They are going to win games by just like rock fights.
And based off of what they said after the game, like Mayo's speech was really, really good. It seems like the players are getting up to play for him, which is a good sign.
So are you excited? You thinking Yoffs?
I'm not thinking Yoffs, but I'm infinitely more excited than I was on Saturday.
Yeah.
Infinitely.
Because you weren't that excited on Saturday.
No, I'm thinking eight wins. Jacoby might get us 8.
Yeah.
I mean, I took what was their season total? 5.5?
I think 4.
I think it was 5. Maybe I took over on 5.5 alternate. But yeah, Jacoby is he's a fine quarterback.
Who do you got next week? Seahawks. Listen, Seahawks offensive line was not looking good.
Guess the line.
Defense might eat. Oh.
Where's it?
It's in New England.
I'm going to say Seahawks. I think Seahawks are favored.
I think Seahawks minus 2.5.
I'm going to say 3.
What is it?
That's what it is.
What?
I don't know which one. I think it's 3. I mean, it's close enough.
You give us yes to both. Which one is it?
2.75.
We're guessing the line on DraftKings. Go ahead, guess the line. What's the line?
I saw 3.
Whose line is it anyway is actually the name of the segment.
Yeah.
Oh, Stafford almost threw a pick. That
3.
would have
3.
3. Okay. Yeah, I mean the Patriots are a live dog as long as they make them a dog.
Also,
they're gonna shorten games, and I know that there was fumble luck. By the way, Hank, I know you don't believe in fumble luck. I have a stat for you though.
Yes.
You ready for it?
Mm-hmm.
Here's the stat. Fumble luck stat of the day. Do the sound. The fumble luck stat of the day. There it is. The Cincinnati Bengals last season lost 2 fumbles. The Cincinnati Bengals on Sunday lost 2 fumbles. That was the fumble luck stat of the day.
That's a good stat of the day.
It's crazy, right? Because that's really what it comes down to is like, do you recover your own fumbles? They led the league last year. They'd only lost 2 fumbles the entire season. On Sunday, they lost 2, especially one going into the end zone. That's the difference in the game.
Fumble luck's not always luck, though.
They're recovering fumbles.
Yeah, but if like your offensive linemen are hustling down the field, like that crazy play in the Bears game, that like bounced off the defender's helmet, and then it was caught by Rome, and then Rome fumbled the ball, and the offensive lineman was down there to block.
Yeah,
you can make your own fumble luck sometimes.
But there's an art to picking up a fumble, and there's I don't know, the luck happens. But the Patriots, listen, they're a salty team. Then when I do my power rankings, I'm just gonna be like Kings of the Rock fight.
I feel like Ramondre might be in bell cow territory too.
Yeah,
right.
Definitely.
120 yards,
25 carries. I love that stat line: 25 carries, 120 yards, long of 17. That's just a good old fashioned bell cow.
Now we love Joe Burrow. He's a friend of the program. and he doesn't have to listen to us. He doesn't have to take any of our advice, whatever. They play the Chiefs next week. If they start 0-2, have to go back to the natural hair color.
Cut the hair. Well,
have to.
Well, the roots are growing out a little bit.
I know, but you
So
gotta just
that's,
dye it.
That's what I'm saying. I think you can cut it short.
Yeah, you have to. You just can't have that as you can't be an 0-2 quarterback with the bleached blonde tips.
You can't do really anything that makes you stand out if you're not good.
Yeah.
That's the trick. If you're bad, just try to fly under the radar.
Yeah. The good news is the Bengals have been here before because they do this every year.
Yeah.
Literally every year. Although the one year that they did win their week 1 game, they went to the Super Bowl.
Well, the crazy thing is this is probably the healthiest that Joe Burrow has been in 3 years to start the season.
Yeah. I don't think it's panic for the Bengals, although you'd probably prefer to not start like this every year.
Well, also we should say at the start of the game, there were pretty much 2 touchdowns that the Bengals had taken off the board.
Yeah.
There was a Mike Gesicki catch that got taken off, and then I think they had a fumble deep in the red zone too.
Well, that happened after. That was just a fumble at the goal line.
Yeah, yeah.
That was just bad.
so-
He was kind of holding it weird.
It was
too.
bad. I mean, fumbles and drop passes are bad, but it could have gone the other way.
Yeah. Also, Dan Hurley was the ruler of the jungle, and that didn't work out. Do you think it was negated by Joey Chestnut? I was thinking about it more after. I know this is hindsight, but Joey Chestnut basically went into Cincinnati and alphaed their citizens. That might have killed the vibes for the Bengals.
You beat, what, 5 of them?
5 of them.
Yeah, 5 versus 1.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, of course, Joey Chestnut could go 10 versus 1.
But like, if you're someone from Cincinnati and you watch that happen, that's a brutal feeling.
Yeah, it's not good. It's not good. How did they determine who got to compete with them?
I think they just drew
50-50
hat.
raffle?
Yeah. They drew out of a hat. All right, we're going to the coin flip in overtime. Remember when they screwed up the coin flip with the Steelers and the Lions way back in the day?
Yep.
That was crazy. Jerome Bettis.
They said heads and tails, I think.
Did you know he played for the Rams?
What?
Wait, was Jerome Bettis from Detroit?
And he played for the Rams?
Shut up.
He never played in a Super Bowl in Detroit, did he?
I don't think
Next thing you know, you're going to tell me that Jalen Hurts can squat 500 pounds.
We get it. He can, okay? He's really good at squatting.
No, I love that. I love the fact that they bring it up 4 times a game now.
I think
that he had that one play where he just ran over, and they were like, "Yeah, he can squat 3 of these defensive backs."
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. It was cool. So, Hank, not thinking Yoffs, but happier and more excited about the future.
Let's win some division games.
Win some division games.
Are you a Mayo boy?
Yeah.
Yeah. Mayo boy's up.
Do you want Drake May to play soon?
No.
At what point though? If you're, I guess you have to. There's that weird balance of like if Jacoby Brissett wins enough games, you don't want to make the switch, but then also you wouldn't mind having Drake May come in and get his feet wet with a team that isn't as bad as you thought it would be.
But if we're thinking Yoffs, you can't make a switch.
It's been really strange this preseason hearing how people are talking about Drake May. They're saying almost universally Drake May is going to be a good quarterback. He just needs to sit for a year.
Yeah.
How could you be that certain that he's going to be good if you're also certain that he needs to be sitting right now?
It makes no sense.
You also, I don't think we talked about Belichick's comments about.
Yeah, no, Belichick hates Caleb Williams. He's made it very clear. What are you going to do?
And he wants to coach again.
Belichick also is like, listen, best coach of all time. Also put his entire reputation with Mac Jones to end his career. So does he know quarterbacks?
I don't know what he said about Caleb.
He said like, oh, he completed half his passes. He's not good.
Also, if Bill Belichick is such a great quarterback evaluator, wouldn't he have taken Tom Brady in the 5th round?
Fair question.
Or the 4th round?
Fair question.
Maybe the 3rd round?
Fair question.
Maybe the 2nd round?
Yeah, I just basically anytime someone, including the best coach of all time, comes at Caleb Williams, I have to think of some way to spin it. So I just kept on saying, yeah, well, he drafted Mac Jones. So,
and he signed the ghost of Cam Newton.
just ignore everything else.
Yeah.
Yeah. What did you think, Hank? You liked that? I want
the Bears to be
for us.
good. No, I want the Bears to be good. I've said it a million times. I want the city to be buzzing with Bears fever.
It is.
You don't mean that, though.
He doesn't.
I do.
You say it, but you don't
He doesn't mean it.
I absolutely do.
What about the Commanders?
He doesn't give a shit.
I don't really care about that.
What about the Eagles?
Eagles, I want to lose in as painful fashion as humanly possible.
This is what's so painful for me is that like I long
I have no beef with Chicago.
I long
Yeah.
for teams to care about my team one way or the other. And I don't blame them for being like, I don't give a shit about the Commanders.
Yeah.
We've been irrelevant.
Right.
I want, we were in Philly the other week and somebody asked me, do you think they're going to get a fuck the Commanders chant going? I was like, no, they don't give a shit about it. Like I yearn to be good enough to have the city of Philadelphia hate me.
Right.
That's my goal.
Right.
It is a weird thing that, like, in Philly, like, everyone hates the Giants. Everyone hates the Cowboys. No
Yeah.
one
And
really-
that hurts.
That's the I don't think
That
about you
hurts.
at all.
Yeah, that hurts.
And it stings. That's more than anything. I just want to get to the point where I can have enemies again.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's fun to have enemies.
It is.
You have enemies.
The enemies don't reciprocate. I mean, I have it similar. Packers fans hate Bears fans, and they hate the Bears, but they also just big brother us.
Yeah, you're like,
Yeah, they
okay,
just pat us in the head. Oh, that's
we
nice.
own
You got
you.
you got another quarterback. Speaking of which, we can go to the
You
next.
basically want to be the Lions. Like the Lions
Yes,
were
yeah.
like that, but now they're getting a little bit.
Yeah.
They have a little bit of juice.
Yeah, I'm getting close to hating the Lions.
Yeah.
I want
need
to-
them to win tonight, but I'm getting close to hating them.
I want to be good enough to have people despise me.
Yeah. Speaking of a good segue, the Steelers 18, Falcons 10. I didn't bring this up when we were talking about Bears Titans, but Justin Fields started this game, and Justin Fields and Caleb Williams had a combined 20 drives today and 0 touchdowns.
Yeah, it was just like it just all stalled out once they got anywhere close. They were just living with field goals today. And Mike Tomlin without a hat on is one of the more shocking things that I've seen
It was crazy.
in a long time. And it's wild because Tomlin's been coaching in the league for forever.
Yeah.
And I feel like we've never seen him without a hat until today.
Yeah.
And it took my breath away. I was like, who is that?
You did. It stopped you to start. We also had, and it was clarified that Russell Wilson was the emergency quarterback, but there was a tweet that went super viral that just, this is when you know you're kind of down bad because everyone just makes a narrative on you. They're like, Russell Wilson's inactive today and he's dressed in full pads.
Yeah,
he was the emergency quarterback.
I thought the same thing. I thought he was inactive, and but I wasn't.
But it would be Russell Wilson to do that.
Yeah, in fact, I saw Russell on the sideline, and I was like, "Oh, I know he's inactive, but that's not weird for Russell Wilson at all to be wearing shoulder
Correct.
pads." Yeah,
Correct. So yeah, that was he was technically emergency quarterback, so that's why he was in pads. By the way, David Montgomery is just a monster.
I think this was the perfect game for Russell Wilson because Justin played good enough to get a win.
Yeah.
And he did not play good enough to take the starting job from Russell Wilson, who hasn't even had a start yet, but still he's penciled in there as a starter. But there's not going to be any talk this week about like maybe we should just stick with Justin.
Yeah, there was nothing that I saw from Justin Fields that said, "Oh, everything's changed." The only thing that changed for him is he had a defense that could back him up.
Yeah, if you were to draw it up, if you were Drew Bledsoe and you saw Tom Brady's first like 16 starts, you want them all to look like this.
Yeah. He was he did just enough to get, like you said, get him into field goal range. They had 6 field goals. Our guy Stat Hole, which you should check out, he has a great blog every week recapping all the stats. Chris Boswell was 1 yard shy of the all-time record for most yards in field goals in a game. So he had 273 yards of field goals. Jason Myers had 274 a few years ago. But Boswell added a 43-yard punt. So I think he should get the record.
All-time kicking record.
Yeah.
maybe.
Most yards, although there's probably someone who
A
had more
punter.
punts.
Yeah. Iowa's punter.
Yeah. But this was just a field goal game. We also had in this game, TJ Watt is so good that he confuses the refs.
Yeah, so he's not technically offsides, but it looks like he's offsides.
He timed a snap so well and then I think he did it twice, strip sacked Kirk Cousins, but they called him offsides. And he's so good at how he times it. The ref apologized to him afterwards and said he fucked it up.
Yeah.
Which is nuts.
He was getting some crazy jumps. He was always in the backfield.
He was everywhere.
And every time there's a ball on the ground, TJ Watt is the first person on the field. He sees the ball on the ground before the guy who fumbles it.
Yeah.
It's crazy. He's just always crawling towards the football.
Yeah.
He played really well today. Kirk Cousins did not play that
Rusty.
great. He looked like he's still recovering from something. Now, Kirk's never been the most mobile guy in the world,
Yeah, but
I've seen him move around a little bit better.
and that was a weird Kirk Cousins game because he had I think he had 2 interceptions, and usually Kirk Cousins interceptions are not like horrendous. he's just careless with the ball. He was careless with those. He was just kind of throwing it up there as he was getting sacked, being like, I don't know where this is going.
Nobody is better, except Will Levis had a couple of these today, but Kirk Cousins is very good at throwing intentionally incomplete passes.
Yes.
Kirk is the man.
Throwing it at their feet.
Yeah, at their feet. It'll bounce like exactly 1 foot in front of them to the point where their receiver won't even make a play on it, but he's not trying to complete the pass at all, and it doesn't look like it's intentional.
Yeah.
But he's very good at trying to miss passes.
But Kirk Cousins did not look good today. The Steelers look like they are the exact same Steelers every single year, where they're going to be hard to watch offensively, but their defense is so good they're going to win these games where they're an underdog.
Yeah, one of the most funny plays of the game was George Pickens, who does 6 insane things every game.
Oh, my God.
3 of which are insane in terms of like body control, and then the other 3 are insane in terms of like clinically, mentally insane.
Yes.
At the end of the first half, he caught a ball on the sidelines. I think at the time that he caught it, there were like 4 seconds left.
Yeah.
And then he comes down, tries to cut back and stay in bounds to gain another like 5 meaningless yards at that point. But the clock would have run out. But his toe was on the line.
Yes.
So they ended up having 1 second left in the
Yes.
half.
Yes.
And so unintentionally, he did the right thing, that's a big upgrade for George. Like you don't have
Huge.
to, you don't have to necessarily try to do the right thing as long as you end up doing the right thing.
Right. Right.
Right? Sometimes bad intentions can lead to good results.
Yeah. That's what happened. He is so crazy, though.
He's nuts.
Also, shout out the Falcons. They used Bijan and Kyle Pitts. Hank, this is actually going to be a very painful. The Lions are about to score. David Montgomery's going to score the touchdown. I let everyone down. I'm out of the pick 4 next year. Next week, we're going to make it a pick 3.
Think of how electric this moment would be right
It
now.
would have been the most electric moment in PMT history to have David Montgomery hit that parlay for the people. I apologize to everyone. Dalton Kincaid
This moment would have been so sick.
Incredible. We would have been going nuts.
In overtime, he just took over.
Dalton
Last
Kincaid.
bet of the night.
Dalton Kincaid had a play drawn up for him on the 10-yard line that got tipped at the line of scrimmage that he would have walked in. I can't believe that.
Good pick, Hank. Kyle Pitts.
Great pick for the 3 of you. I'm out. So next week, how we're going to do it is if someone misses, they're out, and we'll make it 3 to score. So we have a better chance of actually hitting it. Because if I was out
What's
this
going to
week,
happen when it's not one person that doesn't?
we'll
figure
flip a
it out.
coin. Yeah. Whoever had the better, whoever was closer. I apologize. But my parlay hit, big cat parlay, so at least maybe people rode that. That one didn't lose. Wink. But it didn't lose. But the Lions won 26-20. That was an awesome game.
That was a great game.
That was an awesome game.
Football rocks.
What were we talking about? Oh, Steelers-Falcons.
Yeah, Steelers-Falcons. Another thing with George Pickens. I actually think that Mike Tomlin likes having those kind of guys on his team.
Yes.
At some point, you have to say, like, we've always said Mike Tomlin's done a great job of managing crazy personalities in the past, but also lost in that is the fact that Mike Tomlin always has crazy personalities on his team. I think he really enjoys having one guy who's a challenge.
Yes.
And then he shows the rest of the team, like, I will reach this one guy, and then everyone sees him doing that, and that's how they all follow Mike.
Yes, and he is up to the task for it. But yeah, I walked away from this game being like the Falcons are going to still be if Kirk Cousins is going to be this rusty, I don't think they're going to bench him, but it definitely derails what they expected out of this season if he's going to take a while to get going. They were playing the Steelers, who have a very good defense, and it's if you had to pick one team to go up against, as a 35-year-old guy who's coming back from Achilles, probably not TJ Watt.
Yeah, not a good idea to do that.
And so
that whole defense is very good.
So we'll see what happens when they play some different defenses. But the Steelers are the exact same Steelers, and I expect them to be the exact same Steelers, and they're going to be low-scoring games. They're going to win when you think that they're not going to win. They're going to probably lose a couple games that they should win, and they're going to finish 9-8.
I do think that the offense looked better, though.
Yeah, it did.
Compared to last year.
Yeah, Najee ran hard. And George Pickens is awesome. If you can figure out a way to get the ball to George Pickens, he's insane.
Yeah, if you can.
His hands are insane. His body control is insane. He's so fast.
Limit him to just one unsportsmanlike conduct penalty per game.
Yeah.
And I think you usually win those games.
Yeah. I was a little confused. They didn't really run Jalen Warren at all.
Yeah, not because Najee looked good.
Yeah. But it was – I do feel like Jalen Warren gives him another element that just – I don't know.
Well, he was a lot better than Najee last year.
Yeah. Okay, next up we have Vikings 28, Giants 6. Here is where Giants fans are at. This is from @JonesToChina Twitter account. He said, in a serious country, Daniel Jones would be beaten with hammers.
Is that China?
He's probably right. Yeah,
Is China the serious country?
Probably.
He wasn't great today, Big Cat.
I don't think so.
The pick six that he threw in the first half, the fans booing the entire organization at halftime.
They were wearing the ridiculous throwback jerseys, which you don't wear on week one.
The pants, I don't mind the jersey itself. The pants and the helmet are gross.
Yeah, they were Michigan's helmets.
It's a gross setup, and you don't do that week one. All fans want on week one, take the family to a game, see the colors that you haven't seen.
Right.
In 9 months. Go out there and watch what you know to be your favorite football team in your favorite colors play a football game.
Correct.
And then you show up to the stadium and they're wearing the ones that look like something. It looks like a piece of turd that Superman shit out.
Right.
It's a bad uniform combo. You can sprinkle it in occasionally. Maybe wear them in the preseason. Maybe wear them once you're out of playoff contention. Then you can sprinkle those in. But not week one.
Right. That's a random Thursday night throwback night in the middle of November.
Especially if it's like a bad team playing on that Thursday, at least we have new uniforms to look at. Maybe they're a different team.
I also just don't like when teams do the throwbacks just to do the throwbacks when their regular jerseys are classics. It's when the Steelers did the Bumblebees.
Yeah.
Like, what are you doing? The Steelers have incredible jerseys. Why would you do the throwback for that?
Well, then you want to also sell more jerseys.
Correct. But I just hate it. I don't know. I there's some classic jerseys that you just don't need to do throwbacks on. And week one, and we're talking too much about jersey. It's Daniel Jones. It's over. It's been over. He's going to cost Brian Daboll his job, who I still think is not a bad coach, but I think it's going to cost him his job. You had fans yelling at Daniel Jones going into the game, or was that after the game?
I think it was after. I think it was
after. That's even worse.
Yeah, I don't think it was going in. Going in would have been mean.
Going in would have been mean, but going out is worse in a weird way because you just had. I mean, that interception he threw to Van Ginkel. What is he doing?
Yeah, it was pretty bad, and there were also a lot of bad clips of that front office. Why did they agree to do Hard Knocks?
It makes no sense.
That team especially.
That was probably Mr. Mara's call.
It was probably Mr. Mara trying to generate more revenue for the league as a whole. He's a team player. But the clips that were going around after the Saquon Barkley night were bad, made even worse by what happened with Daniel Jones.
Yes.
And their owner talked about Saquon being like the most popular player by far. Like, I'm going to lose sleep if he goes to the Eagles. I have no idea why they allowed to make that to television.
Yeah.
Why did you not keep that out?
It makes no sense. It makes no sense. But yeah, it's over for Daniel Jones, and I am on the flip side. I am throwing my vote behind Sam Darnold for a guy who's going to be better than everyone expected this year. I said it was a loser leaves town game for me personally. Whoever played better in this game, I was going to throw all my weight behind. Hey, he's not as bad as everyone thinks he is. So Daniel Jones actually, he isn't as bad as everyone thinks he is. He's worse. But Sam Darnold is not as bad as everyone thinks he is. He's better.
Yeah, Sam Darnold, late bloomer.
7-year bump.
Late bloomer for him. He looked not bad in this offense.
Yeah, he was.
Kevin O'Connell
was good.
He knows how to make quarterbacks play good. And two of those reasons are Justin Jefferson, Jordan Addison.
Mm-hmm.
Addison got hurt, though, today. So I don't know if he's
again.
Yeah, I think he got hurt, right?
I don't know. He went in hurt.
I think he may have left the game hurt.
Okay.
So that's not good for the Vikings. But I do think that Sam Darnold played well.
Yeah. By the way, NFC North, tough division. 3 out of the 4 teams are 1-0. That's fucking tough. Tough.
Big boy football.
Big boy football. Big boy football.
Which team isn't?
The Green Bay Packers.
Okay.
But Jordan Love's okay.
FC is 3-0.
Oh, memes.
Big boy football.
Memes. We're going to get to you, memes, but you got a big one. I'm going to do that real quick. That tweet. NFC North is NFC North the best division in football? Aaron Jones is good, and I don't know. I'm happy, but I don't know why the Packers got rid of him for Josh Jacobs.
I don't either. I don't like the fact that when you saw him score his first touchdown, people were like, "Wait, that's not James Cook. Wait, that's not Alexander Madison.
Yeah.
Wait, that's Aaron Jones.
Yeah. Actually,
they have a type."
when you do the three-way triangle trade, I think the Packers lost all of it because Alexander Mattison is on the Raiders, right?
Yeah.
And he looked not bad.
Yep.
Scored a touchdown, right?
Yep.
And Aaron Jones looked good.
That's the domino that will be talked about for decades to come in the NFL.
Yeah. But yeah, the Giants are just then just stop with it. I mean, they're just, I guess if you're a Giants fan, at least you know it's so apparent, like you can now just watch college football on Saturday and be like, who's our next quarterback?
Mm-hmm.
Right?
And if you're a Vikings fan, you're like, this year might be okay.
Yeah.
You might be decent.
Sam Darnold might not be bad. 7-year bump.
I would put him as the top backup in the NFL right now. Because he's a starter.
Technically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I think he outperformed Justin Fields, who is the other backup that's a starter.
That's right.
So I would put him as one. Gardner's he's a backup.
He is a backup in nature.
Gardner is a backup by vibe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very much so. All right. Last game of the early window. Saints 47, Panthers 10. If you want to feel really, really dumb as a human being, bet on Bryce Young. It's a really good way to humble yourself. I did it, and it was one single pass into the game that I remembered, oh, yeah, this guy stinks and the Panthers are bad.
Yeah, I want very much for Bryce to show glimpses, show flashes, just because I feel terrible for Panthers fans.
Yeah.
Because your franchise is in the biggest, deepest, darkest hole, and it's going to continue to get deeper because of the pick situation that you guys have.
Correct.
And you've got the owner that you don't really like. You got just all bad things going on around your organization. So I want Bryce to look like he might give you some hope, and you didn't really get that at all today.
He threw a pick on his first throw, and then later on in the first quarter, he got basically tackled by his own lineman. Did you guys see that highlight? That was bad. When I mean tackled, like the lineman was just standing there being a 300-pound lineman, and Bryce Young happened to graze up next to him and fell over.
Yeah.
I'm at the point now where I feel bad for Bryce Young, so I actually looked it up. He's made $25 million.
That's good.
Yeah. I did that almost as like, I feel so bad. I got to think of something. He made $25 million.
Yeah, good for him. I still feel bad for the fans, though. You should be we talk about this, I think, pretty much every year for the worst team, whether or not you're allowed to just change your allegiance as a fan. I think under certain circumstances, you should be allowed to.
Yes.
I think you should have to pay some sort of penalty. Like if you go to prison for a year, I think you could go to prison and then you could come out and you could say, I'm now a fan of this completely different city, but you have to take on all that city's teams.
Yeah, and Bryce Young, like the Panthers, that is prison.
Do you think that
that's a year of prison you're going through?
Do you think that anybody has moved out or is going to move out of Charlotte primarily for the reason that they don't like the Carolina Panthers anymore?
They just can't stand David Tepper.
I think that might happen. I think you might see a handful of people start to do that right now.
Yeah.
I would consider leaving Charlotte.
Yeah. You should leave.
Just move to Raleigh.
Just go to San Diego and be a Harbaugh guy.
Yeah, that's a great point.
Yeah. Just be a Harbaugh guy. But yeah, you really, really feel dumb when you bet on the Panthers. I don't know why I thought maybe we even said it on Friday. They went an entire season without taking a snap, leading in the fourth quarter, and then my dumb shit for brains self was like, yeah, you know what? Panthers.
Yeah, you tried to outsmart yourself.
I mean, that's my whole theory was you can't be as bad as you were last year. No, you can.
You ironically outsmarted yourself by trying to outsmart yourself.
Correct. Saints look good, though.
Clint Kubiak was on the sidelines.
Yep.
So mystery solved.
Dialing it up.
Yeah. Loose lips sink ships, and Dennis Allen knows that you can't be telling tales out of school to the media.
Listen, I was not familiar with Dennis Allen's game. It worked.
Yeah, Clint Kubiak called a great game.
Yeah.
From the sidelines.
From the sidelines.
Not from the booth.
Yeah.
And the Panthers didn't know what to do with that. They were looking for him in the wrong places.
Derek Carr was good.
Derek Carr was good. They fed him like a steady diet of Taysom Hill right off the start.
Yeah, Kamara, Taysom Hill just running downhill.
Rashid Shaheed looks super fast.
Love saying his name.
I don't like his number, though.
What is his number?
I think it's 22.
Okay.
It's in the 20s. A guy like that either should be 11 or maybe like 81, 82 to remind you that he plays wide receiver.
80, I'm trying to think about it. Yeah. I could even use it. 88 I could even do.
I think he's too small for an 88.
He might be too small.
But again, I have no idea what size he actually is because the number 22. I assume if you're wearing 22, that you're prototypical like tailback size.
Yeah.
That you're 5'11", 227.
What's the fattest number? Because I was thinking about it. I think it's the fat guy on the Ravens was wearing 58.
Yeah.
Those numbers compressed on a jersey, like when it scrunches up on a fat belly, those look very fat.
Well, it matters.
78.
78. It matters what position.
7 is kind of a skinny number. Like 5 and 8 are both fat.
Like there was a kicker that was wearing 44 the other day.
Yeah.
And that to me, I was like, that kicker's fat, but no, he was in good shape. Just 44, that's a fullback number.
Yeah.
90 is usually a pretty fat guy.
You need a 8 or a 0 because like the circles when they get scrunched up they go wide.
Yeah.
And it's just they kind of fold into each other.
99 is not fat. 98, I think, more times than often.
No, 99 is one of the fastest.
Yeah, he's fast and he's strong. And
98
he's jacked up.
I think 98 is a strong number.
Okay, 96 is a fat guy.
96 is a fat
Big
guy.
time fat
95
guy.
also a fat guy.
92,
Yep.
that's
fat
a fat guy.
Yeah. What were we talking about?
Rashid Shaheed.
Oh, awesome name.
Awesome name.
Actually just bumped out Malik Willis for coolest name.
Yeah, but no, Malik is the guy that has such a better sounding name than he is a football player.
Correct. Yeah, that's true. He is the answer to that. Yeah, the Saints, I don't know. I'm so mad at myself too because I said to myself all offseason, like, Saints might not be as bad as we think. And then I'm like, yeah, you know what? Let me take the Panthers.
Derek Carr won me over. He was a cool guy.
Yeah,
he's
same.
a very cool guy to talk to.
He was a lot cooler than I was expecting, and he was in on the joke. So yeah, I think we're DC guys.
I like Derek Carr.
I like saying DC.
Yeah. Now we don't know if the Panther or if the Saints are good or if they just had the acute case of playing against the Panthers.
Yeah. Let's play a game called When Will the Panthers Get Their First Win?
Okay.
All right, here we go. Week 2, Chargers.
Nope.
No chance. That's Harbaugh's going to chew them up and spit them out.
Did you see Bryce Young at one point? He was down on himself and he went to the sidelines and Dave Canales went over to him and gave him got down on a knee like he was his dad. And he's like, "Come on, slugger."
Yeah.
Like gave him that nice little pep talk, and Bryce just wanted no part of it.
None. Week 3 at the Raiders.
Maybe.
That's a maybe.
That's a maybe.
That's a maybe. Week 4 at home against the Bengals. That'll be when the Bengals have figured it all out.
Yeah, no, they're not.
That's
winning that
not.
game.
Week 5 at the Bears. If Caleb
Now-
Williams throws for over 100 yards, I'd say no chance. If he goes under 100 yards, they might have a chance.
Now, I don't want it to happen, but for the podcast, it would.
Yeah,
be
that would suck.
It'd be pretty
Because
good.
we do have their second round pick. Week 6, Falcons at home. That could be. Yeah, they beat the Falcons last year.
In the division,
Yeah.
weird stuff happens in the division.
Week 7 at Commanders.
No,
Bryce Young might go off.
no, I don't think so.
Okay.
They have an easy schedule.
Yeah, they did. Well, they were last place team. They were the worst team in the league. That's another thing we're gonna have to teach you about
Yeah, I know that.
how they make the schedules because you just never.
Yeah,
you just played.
You just
Played
never.
different
You
divisions.
never thought about it.
Hey-
It's like the schedule is the schedule.
No, you get. I know you get matched up with a division in the
No,
other conference.
Yeah, you play the fourth place teams play fourth place teams.
If you're Hank, you probably thought that the Patriots were just like you. It was like college where you set your own schedule.
Yeah.
And the Patriots like, yeah, we'll beat anybody.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter. That's why you guys always played the best teams.
If you can see a trend, they're going to be playing the fourth place team from last year in every single conference. So yeah, they're playing at the Broncos, Saints at the Giants, or at home against the Giants. So
they
could
could have
actually
a winning
some-
record. Yeah.
Yeah, they could win some games. Cardinals, they could win.
yeah, I see a couple potential wins.
Yeah, they're going to win a couple games. Okay, PFT, why don't you hit us with a couple ads and we'll get to the afternoon games. Shout out the Saints. They're back.
Part of my take is sponsored by BetterHelp. Kids are always learning and growing, but as adults, sometimes we lose that curiosity. What's something that you'd like to learn? Gardening, a new language, maybe how to finally beat your best friend in bowling. Therapy can help you reconnect with your sense of wonder because your back-to-school era can come at any age. If you're thinking of starting therapy, give BetterHelp a try. It's entirely online, designed to be convenient, flexible, suited to your schedule. Just fill out a brief questionnaire to get matched with a licensed therapist, and you can switch therapists at any time for no additional charge. Rediscover your curiosity with BetterHelp. Visit BetterHelp.com/PMT today to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/PMT. Part of my take is also brought to you by our great friends over at Mountain Dew, baby. Mountain Dew, you know what we all need? we need to get off our ass. With bold flavors and a refreshing citrus kick, Mountain Dew will get you off your ass, will have you feeling like you're on an actual mountain. I love the Code Red Mountain Dew. I love the Baja Blast, too. Baja Blast, such a treat. Code Red changed the game in sodas. A mountain where the weather is always perfect. That's what you get with Mountain Dew. Your friends are ready to hang, and a day of epic proportions awaits. We were at Camp Barstool a couple weeks ago, slugging some Mountain Dews, chugging them, quenching our thirst with the dew, doing the dew left and right. The mountain is calling. You should answer. Grab your friends. Grab an ice-cold Mountain Dew wherever refreshing beverages are sold, and do the dew.
Okay, afternoon games, PFT. Bucs 37, Commanders 20. The floor is yours. 0-1.
Our defense stinks.
Yeah.
And I don't think it's going to get better. Yeah. I think we're a bad football team. And I don't think I was ready for how bad the defense was going to be. But I was so nervous going into this game. I almost couldn't watch. I felt like I was Jaden Daniels' dad on the sidelines.
Some are saying you might be a helicopter parent.
Maybe, yeah. I'll take that week 1. I was nervous.
You got to let the kid fall every now and then.
I know. I don't want him to fall. I was scared. I was scared to watch him. I wanted the game to be played at noon. I wanted to get out of the way as soon as possible. And then as the games went by, I was just dreading. I was like, what if something bad happens? I was thinking all the worst thoughts. Jaden looked pretty good, though. I'm happy with how things went. I do need some help, though, because now I've found myself squarely in the crosshairs of being targeted by people saying, nice second overall pick on a running back. You know,
I've been there.
I'm going into the Lamar situation. So
yeah.
I'm hoping that you have some advice for me for how to deal with those people.
Yeah.
One thing that I tried to do was just put out the blind resume for all the rookie quarterbacks making their starts today. And Jaden had a good statistical day. He was not the problem. I would have liked to see that one pass to McLaurin that was deep. I want to see that connect. Outside of that, the rest of the team, we're just not a good football team.
Yeah.
We're not good. We're not really good at anything.
Jaden needs to figure out a way to keep his helmet on, though.
Yeah.
That part is scary to me. His helmet just pops off every 2 seconds.
Yeah, he doesn't really buckle it in tight, and it was coming off even in pre-games, and then every time he would get touched, it would fly off, which resulted in him getting 2 penalties that were called because it looked like he got decapitated.
Yeah.
Because his helmet rolls across the field. Also, before every play, he puts his mouthpiece in, but he puts it in on the side of his mouth, and then he chews on it. And we haven't ever said anything bad about any player that just chews on their mouthpiece all game.
Correct.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Just want to make sure.
I don't think you have to worry about the running stuff because he's clearly a very good passer. Like he is.
Yeah, he's
a good
good.
passer. You know, when you watch him throw the ball, it's fluid. It makes sense. It's not like a Justin Fields, even Lamar, who has won 2 MVPs. Like people calling him Lamar, great, 2 MVPs.
2 MVPs. I love that.
Awesome.
Oh, you're saying we have a good running back? That's great. It's been a long time since we had a good running back,
Yeah.
too.
Yeah. You have Thunder and Lightning.
Thunder and Lightning all in one
together.
And he leads the league in smiles.
No,
that's what I like the most. The kid's having fun out there.
I thought he looked fine for his first start. Like I didn't think he looked bad. He didn't look great, but it's his first start.
I thought he looked pretty good overall.
Yeah.
I mean, running when he takes off and runs, nobody's catching him.
Yeah.
He's very fast. I like that. Some of the passing was good. Some of the passing wasn't so good. Helmet, he needs more helmet discipline. And then the rest of the team just stinks.
Yeah.
The defense was maybe Baker was just playing really well.
Oh, Baker was incredible.
But there were a lot of open guys.
Baker was incredible. It did feel like every time Baker threw the ball, it was going somewhere for 15 yards.
It was going to the right place.
For 15 yards.
Every single time. Every time, 15 yards. I think we forced 1 punt, and every other drive ended in points.
Yeah, he had 4 touchdowns, Baker, and he also that touchdown pass to Mike Evans was incredible.
Yeah.
Where Mike Evans was incredible. He just big-bodied him.
I think this might be the last straw for Emmanuel Forbes, though.
Oh, that's good.
I think it might be it. I think we're saying, okay, we'll give you one more chance. And he got benched a couple times today. At some point, you just have to say he can't play.
There was a moment where he had a tackle, and you were like, oh, Emmanuel Forbes had a tackle. And it was a play where it was in the middle of the field. It was like you want your cornerback covering the guy, not tackling him.
But that's progress for Emmanuel Forbes. And then I watched the replay, and I was like, oh, well, he assisted on a tackle.
Right. And he also should have been covering.
He also should have been covering.
Yeah.
Everything was bad on the defense. There were glimpses where it looked kind of cool on offense. But overall, I'm okay with it. We're not going to be a good team this year.
And you might
I'm not thinking soupy.
and you might beat the Giants next week.
That's really the Super Bowl for me.
Yeah.
If we can go 2-0 against the Giants and beat the Panthers,
Yeah.
that's a perfect season, baby.
Yeah, I think you're going to beat the Giants. Jaden Daniels is significantly better than Daniel Jones.
Yeah. Yeah, he is.
That's not even close.
Max, as a division rival, what did you think about Jaden?
I thought I was watching that game with you, and I was saying good things about Jaden Daniels. He's my fantasy quarterback. I wanted him to do well, and everything you all the positive things that I was saying, you were like you thought that there was some other meaning behind it.
Yeah, I thought you were two-toning me.
I wasn't.
I thought there was subcontext to every comment you were making.
No, I think Jaden Daniels is good. I think the Commanders suck, but I think Jaden Daniels is good.
You have to realize I had my guard up during that game.
Oh, yeah.
As the protective father that I felt like in the stands watching. Actually, I felt like more like the mom, where I was just like burying my head in my hands. I was like, I can't watch. Just tell me what happens. So yes, I was on high alert for that game with a rookie quarterback, as I feel like I'm entitled to be.
Yeah, you got to be on high alert.
I'm on high alert, and so Max was giving compliments. And I was like, Max, shut the. You were like, he needs to tighten up his chin strap. I was like, you got to tighten up that mouth,
dude. Listen. You got to get on high alert when you have a rookie quarterback. If you spent 1 second in my mentions for the entirety of the Bears game, they would ban Twitter. They'd be like, you can't. This is hate speech everywhere. I said out loud, I was like, I think I might just deactivate. Can I keep my account if I deactivate? You got to be on high alert with a rookie quarterback.
Yeah, I am. I'm on very high alert. And you know what? Next week it's a must win.
Yeah,
the Giants.
Ooh.
You got to take care of business.
That's huge.
Because if we don't beat the Giants, that means that the Giants are better than us.
Yeah.
And that's not a world I want to live in this season.
What was the name of the sideline reporter who was swagged out? That was weird.
Laura Oakman.
Yeah, what was that?
She was rocking a bucket hat and she was wearing a chain, and she looked like when they dressed Kirk Cousins up after a game. Like,
is it because Oasis is back? Is that why she's wearing the bucket hat?
Is that for Liam?
I don't know. English people wear bucket hats.
I don't know. She looked like LL Cool J.
Yeah, that was a weird look.
It was a strange look. I thought that she was doing it because we didn't have the sound on that game. We were listening to Tom Brady. So we were watching that, and we were trying to figure out what was going on. I thought she was doing it because there's like a story that maybe Jaden Daniels has a picture I'm unaware of where he's dressed up like that.
She was the Steve Buscemi, hey, what's up, kid? What's that mean? How you doing, kids?
How you do, fellow kids?
How you doing, fellow kids? That's what she looked like.
Yeah, it was a strange look, but that was the least of my concerns.
Yeah.
We're just a bad team. And you know what? I'm glad that I came to the realization week 1.
I think you're good enough to beat the Eagles at least once and be a pain in the ass to Max.
I would love that.
Yeah.
I do. I think that's gonna happen.
I just want you to hate me. I want you to hate me, Max.
Yeah.
You can't hate me.
Nah.
He doesn't even feel anything.
You'll never do
you.
it. And it's so painful that you'll never hate me.
No.
One day.
By the way, I have breaking news. Breaking news. Rebecca Romaine has tweeted at us saying, message to AWLs, Mr. Jerry O.C. is muttering, should have picked up Baker instead of Dak. We have no clue what this means, but we are worried this time. And it's just a picture of him sitting in a car. Are we worried about Jerry? Jerry's having big-time FOMO on basically any player that does well this week.
Yeah, and it doesn't even matter because we're going to win our game. Shout out to Jerry O'Connell and his drafting ability because the AI feature on Yahoo graded him as an A.
Yeah.
I think they projected we go like 12-4 this season.
Yeah.
So we did a good job, and we're winning week 1. But Jerry, he's about that life right now. That's all he's second guessing everything.
I did tell her, and she's probably going to listen to this because she's an AWL now. But the only thing that will fix Jerry is 4 quarters of uninterrupted Monday Night Football.
Yeah, just let
give
him
him that.
Let him watch. Rebecca, if you want to come watch the game with us and just have Jerry chill at home and he gets to tune in all on his own, we'll do that.
Feel like we've known you forever.
I'll do Jerry such a big favor by inviting you to Chicago to hang out with us for an evening.
Yeah, I'm in. Okay, next up, Cowboys 33, Browns 17. Dak got absolutely paid a couple hours before the season started. He got $240 million, $231 guaranteed, 4-year contract. So much for turning up the heat, Jerry Jones.
He did have a great quote, though. He said, I hope Dak is our quarterback for the rest of my life.
Whoa.
Yeah.
4 years.
Yeah. Well, then he said, and that's not just limited to the terms of this contract.
Oh,
either.
that was smart.
But it sounds like it certainly is.
Also, genius move by Jerry Jones, because you could say, oh my God, you're overpaying for Dak Prescott, but you waited a couple hours before you played a game against the worst quarterback contract of all time in Deshaun Watson. Because that really was like, think about it. Dak signed this 4-year, $240 million contract, and Deshaun's contract was the entire talk online during that game because it is the worst contract ever.
It's impossible to beat. Maybe not even the worst NFL contract ever. Maybe not even the worst sports contract ever. Deshaun Watson might have the worst contract ever.
We got to look it up. In Louisiana Purchase, I feel like we got that for like a couple nickels.
We fleeced.
Yeah,
we fleeced.
We
the
got
French.
them.
Maybe White Star Cruise Lines.
Yeah.
To build the Titanic.
Yeah.
Pretty bad contract.
And then it's Deshaun Watson.
Deshaun Watson, close second.
He has $230 million guaranteed. I actually think that Deshaun Watson is so bad at football now that he hates football that he's just going to pretend to be injured because he's like, what do I care?
Yes, you're exactly right. When he's playing, he hates being out on the field.
Yeah.
Can't stand being out on the field. He looks like he'd rather be anywhere else. He doesn't want to talk to anybody, doesn't want to talk to his teammates, doesn't want to talk to his coaches. He is looking forward to getting hit hard enough to make it convincing that he's hurt where he can't play.
He's going to have an elbow injury coming up.
Yeah.
I
the other shoulder.
Yeah. So I thought of this independent of, I guess someone tweeted this at Memes and Max, but Deshaun Watson's so bad at football now, I think you could say that he's a better person than football player.
I think
he's so bad at football.
I would say,
and he's a bad person.
I would say, as good as he is at quarterback, even better human being.
Yeah, that's how bad he is at
Watson.
football now.
Yeah,
he's a better human than football player.
Yeah,
because he's so bad at football.
That's a great spin zone.
Yeah, he's somehow reversed it.
It's close.
It is close.
It's
a race to the bottom.
It's week to week. Mincy asked if he can even show his face in Cleveland after this. I was like, I think that's the only part of his body he is allowed to show.
Correct. I mean, it's nuts how bad he is. And he's just, it's abysmal to watch. He looks like a backup that should never be playing a game.
He was throwing the ball 6 yards out of bounds on almost every throw. Every time I watched him hurl a pass downfield. And we had Tom Brady in the booth commentating on it. What do you think, How do you think, if you were to give him like a letter grade, Tom Brady did week 1?
I can't say that I listened enough. I would say that his voice is going to take some getting used to.
It's a little whiny.
Yeah, but he'll get comfortable.
I give it a B.
Yeah.
It's going to take
Here's what I'll say.
He needs a couple reps.
Tom Brady, similar to, if you're listening to this, please come on the show. We'd love to have you on the show. We can give you some tips. Similar to Dak Prescott playing a game against Deshaun Watson, and immediately his contract looks like a discount. Tom Brady, you need to just retweet every clip you can find of Nebraska, Colorado on Saturday night, because that was tough for Colt McCoy.
Well, it was tough for Colt. It was tough for the refs too.
Yeah, it was tough for
the whole operation.
The whole operation. It
was bad.
And I like Colt, and I hope he turns around. It wasn't his best. The first game there's jitters. You know what? Here's another spin zone for Tom Brady. You don't want to be Tony Romo that everyone sucks off in the first game, and then everyone's like, wait, this guy's actually annoying.
Then
Tom Brady wasn't annoying. He just has work to do.
He had a little bit of jitters.
He was a
little bit nervous going into it. The first couple times the cameras on him, a couple missteps here and there. I feel like it's when I'm watching Tom Brady and he's on TV announcing a football game, I feel like that's beneath him to do that.
Yeah.
I feel like Tom should be just like sitting in some high-rise apartment somewhere with like absolutely no fabric anywhere in the room, just all marble and granite, and he's there watching a glamorous TV with a glass of red wine. Tom Brady doesn't need to be in Cleveland, Ohio, talking to me about Deshaun Watson.
Stayed at a hotel in Cleveland last
night. Yeah, see, that's what I'm saying. Like that kind of ruins the image of Tom Brady for me.
Yeah, he should be on a beach.
He's too good to be telling me about crummy football.
Also, Tom Brady, come on the show, because until you come on the show, we'll just say Greg Olsen is better, because Greg Olsen's a good friend of ours.
Yeah, well, he is better.
Yeah, but that's because Greg Olsen's been doing it for a couple of years, and he's a natural.
That's true. I don't think he was. Tom Brady is not a natural.
He will work harder than anyone, right, Hank?
Yep.
The commercial hyping up Tom Brady was weird.
Oh, it was great.
It was a little weird.
It was strange.
I thought it was really.
It was strange.
Really well done.
It was a little weird for an announcer, That's all.
Well, it's Tom Brady.
I understand. And he will get better because it is Tom Brady.
You know
That's what he does.
you know
He's
what
going to just end up being somehow the best announcer because he's just going to work harder than everyone.
What I didn't like about Tom today is that he was announcing the Deshaun Watson game, and this is not his fault, but that's a game where you want the announcers to be a little bit more mean. You know, you want the announcers to like call out when you see quarterback playing like dog shit and talk about the contract and be like, what is even going on? They missed Joe Flacco. Jameis Winston is waiting right there. You want an announcer that's not afraid to just like step in the mud a little bit. And for Tom's first game, he was definitely not going to do that.
Well, it probably was so like Tom Brady doesn't even understand how someone could do the things Deshaun Watson was doing.
Yeah, he can't analyze that.
He can't. He doesn't. It doesn't make sense to him.
Well, he could have analyzed some of the stuff if you thought about some of the things Robert Kraft has been doing.
Sure. So you B? I didn't listen enough. I was taking notes. I was also flipping around to different games, so I didn't listen enough.
B.
That's the only thing with the like. I would like to get like a Sunday night or Monday. It won't happen because they have the afternoon game Sunday or Monday to really. That's when you can really see like
what the reaction is,
what this announcer is, what they're made of.
So I listened to a lot of it. I think that people are not going to be happy with Tom Brady.
Got it.
I think that they'll say Greg Olson's better. But again, this is the first rep Tom has had, so
and it'll get better. What do you think, Max? What are you gonna say?
Johnny Fanta?
Oh yes. Oh, I forgot. We got to play this video. So Johnny Fanta, our guy, Johnny Fanta. This is how bad the Browns are. This is how bad Deshaun Watson is. The Cleveland Browns organization has officially ticked Johnny Fanta off.
Ticked?
He is ticked off, PFT. He is ticked off. Can you pull
reason?
it up? It's a TV that looks like it's in a...
That's Lake Erie.
Oh, yeah, it is Lake Erie. This is as mad as you can get Johnny Fanta, and again, he was ticked off.
I have it here. I have it up here.
Okay.
Do you want to watch it?
No, just listen to it.
Okay.
Yeah, we can listen to it. You ready for this?
Yep.
The only thing that's nice right now is the sun that's shining. It shouldn't be. That was utterly embarrassing, pathetic, disgraceful, shameful. You gave that guy under center $230 million fully guaranteed. $230 million fully guaranteed. He's not great. He's not good. He's not even average. Right now, I put him on par with Bryce Young or Daniel Jones. He can go stand in line with them. Rip the Band-Aid off before it's too late, because the rest of that locker room knows it. Deshaun Watson's done. That first half against Dallas was an utter joke. I'm tired of hearing about rust. I'm tired of hearing excuses. I'm tired of hearing that the two-time NFL Coach of the Year, it's all his fault. Folks, he can't play. It ain't happening. Accept reality. I'm ticked.
Oh, ticked.
I'm ticked.
He's ticked.
And did you watch the video?
No, but that's,
Okay, so
it
this-
sounds like he's almost PO'd.
Because you didn't get to see it. This is what he looked like when he was doing it.
Yeah.
It's perfect.
That's a
He's-
tick-
his
that's a
full-
ticked man.
His full Browns gear. He's ticked.
His big ticked energy.
Folks, I'm ticked.
Yeah, this is not good for the Cleveland Browns.
No, they lost Johnny Fanta.
And if you're a Browns fan, it's so depressing to watch that and to think about the money that you're paying him. And if Kevin Stefanski has an honest conversation with him, it was like, hey, would you just rather not play
Right.
and still get the money? Deshaun Watson would definitely say yes.
Yeah, 100%. Look at that face.
Yeah.
Johnny Fanta.
He's
He's
peeved.
ticked. He's ticked off. He's right, though. Deshaun Watson is on par with those guys.
Go stand in line with him.
Go stand in line with
It's a
him.
sad line.
He is so bad. And, yeah, it was painful to watch. It was painful to watch.
Especially with Jameis just on the sidelines, ready to go.
He's ready. Johnny Fanta brought up a good point in that video. No one, and I know there's been injuries and there's a year out and all that stuff, but no one has had the benefit of, he's got rust more than Deshaun Watson.
Yeah, well,
He's been rusty for 4 years.
he was rusty for being under investigation.
Yeah.
And then he was rusty from
Demanding a trade.
Demanding a trade. Then he was rusty from an injury.
Yeah.
And then he was rusty from another injury.
Everyone's like, he's only played a few games in the last 4 years. Well, that's his fault, and it doesn't matter. He stinks.
If you were Deshaun Watson, they just said, hey, if you don't play for the rest of the season, just hang out. We won't even activate you on set. What do you do?
Yeah.
What would you do if you're Deshaun? Would you just probably move out of the country?
Yeah. I mean,
would.
he's isn't he tight with Saudi Arabia? Remember there was that picture of him hanging out with the sheiks?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go overseas.
He's already there. Look at that. Just play the end again. I'm ticked because they can actually see it. He's the best. Johnny Fanta.
Play. It ain't happening. Accept reality. I'm ticked.
It's seriously like if I was Jimmy Haslam's assistant, I would hurriedly run into the suite and just be like, "Sir, we've lost Johnny Fanta."
Yeah,
and that would be the moment where you have to change everything.
This is it. And man, before the game, you had Myles Garrett going to the Muni lot and hanging out with those people there, getting them all amped up.
I know.
You wanted it to be so great, and then the Cowboys. It makes it so much worse that it was the Cowboys and it was the national game. Now you're embarrassed too.
Yeah.
If you're a Cowboys fan, you're very, very happy with how today went.
Yeah. I mean, the Cowboys look good. I think the Cowboys are also one of those teams that like they were people have been so, I don't know, like, oh, every year's the same. They're really good in the regular season. They don't do anything in the playoffs, that they might have gotten a little underrated going into this season. They were 2.5-point dogs in this game.
Yeah, that's
weird. A crazy line looking back.
Yes, that's weird.
We're going to look back at the end of the season when the Cowboys have 11, 12 wins and the Browns have a $230 million quarterback that they can't even play and be like, what was that line?
Also, the offensive line did not look as good in Cleveland.
No.
Maybe that's a Callahan.
They have, and they've been moving parts around and everything, yeah. Okay, last two, Chargers, Raiders. Chargers, 22, Raiders, 10. This is just Harbaugh. This is Harbaugh through and through. I don't know. Can you pull up the Harbaugh got a game ball? Pull up my quote sheet of it because it's just Harbaugh. That team, this is what we knew when we went to LA and we saw like him in his element. They are going to be, don't bet against them. That's what he said to us. He's like, I don't know if you had bet on us, but wouldn't bet against us. Play the sound for this. This is Harbaugh getting a game ball from the owner after the game. He's just freaking out, screaming, so happy. He's got him juiced up. They were fighting in the end zone.
Yeah, he cares so much about that ball too. I guarantee you, he takes very good care of every game ball that he gets.
Yeah,
they all mean something to him. The fight in the end zone, that's when you knew that Harbaugh was in his element.
And this team is not that talented, but he's going to get them to believe that they can win any game, and they will win a couple games because of that. And it was just great to see him back out there. The one thing I would say about the Chargers, they got to get ironed out. Harbaugh went up to Herbert before the game to do his patented, he hits his quarterback on the top of the pads, on the side of the pads, and on the back. Herbert thought he was going in for a hug, and he went to hug him. And they were just...
Harbaugh's not a hugger.
Yeah, he's not a hugger. We also
the way he hugs is by trying to wrestle you.
Yeah, right. Wrestle you to the ground.
It's really competitive hugging.
We also had an all-time Harbaugh before the game. He announced the Chargers changed the number of 6'4", 296-pound defensive tackle Scott Matlock this past week from number 99 to number 44. And now list him as their starting fullback. Yeah. And Matlock is expected to play both ways in Sunday's regular season opener versus the Raiders. And Harbaugh said that Matlock is in such good condition he could play a doubleheader if needed.
I love that. If there was a third way to play football, he would be on that team too, like a special team that was not offense or defense. We'd put him out there too.
Even if he doesn't use them there, it's just the heart. Like that's just a vibes thing. Like we made our defensive, our nose tackle our fullback.
Well, he took the most intimidating looking guy, and he just said, "We're going to have this man on our football field as often as possible,
right? Because
he looks like a character from Game of Thrones."
Yeah, it's so. I'm buying on the Chargers. Just because of Harbaugh. This is why I wanted him for the Bears.
It's tough to beat Jim Harbaugh on 3,000 days rest from the NFL.
Yeah.
And he's 5-0 in season openers as a head coach in the NFL.
The Colts need to get him.
Yep.
The Colts should actually offer him like $1 billion just for week one. Should we – now we like Antonio Pierce. He also is a friend, but should we talk real quick about the punt?
Yeah, the punt. It was an interesting punt. He wanted to pin him deep, Big Cat.
Yeah, so in the fourth quarter, it was a 16-10 game. And the Raiders had 4th and 1 at the Chargers 43.
Yep.
And they punted.
And I read that was the first punt in your opponent's territory when you're trailing by that much in the fourth quarter since I think it was Rex Ryan.
Stathole sent it to me. I'm going to try to find it.
Excuse me. I think it was Rex Ryan back when he was coaching, I think, the Bills.
Yeah, it was very bad. It was very bad. No, it was the Browns at the Colts at the 41-yard line, Week 7, 2012. They would also lose that game. Only team on record to punt while down one score, 4th and 1, less than 8 minutes left.
It was a very bad punt.
It was a very bad punt.
And his logic was, we want to pin them deep, and then our defense will make a stop. But the defense didn't make a stop.
They went on a 92-yard drive to score a touchdown and win the game.
Yeah.
So, not great start for the Raiders, but Harbaugh.
Harbaugh's
back in the NFL.
And it's good for everybody.
It really is. We also had, speaking of stat hole, he did send me a great stat. So Alexander Mattison scored a touchdown on his first reception for the Raiders. And Josh Jacobs had 197 receptions as a Raider and never scored a touchdown receiving. Pretty crazy.
Yeah.
So you just saw that, and the new guy shows up, first catch, touchdown.
Yeah. Lad McConkey also had a touchdown today.
Yeah.
Where he did the double Olay at the goal line.
Yeah.
And he looks like the Chargers are, how should we say this, limited in terms of what they can do at wide receiver. Mm-hmm. But Lad seems like he might be a good Harbaugh guy.
Yes. Oh, big time. They're going to feed him. Okay. And then we also had a shitload of fights after the game. Did you guys see some of those fights?
Yeah, the fights were good.
Yeah, they were good fights in terms of Raiders Chargers. I mean, those two teams, they know when they're going to submit a fight video, it has to be high quality.
Yeah.
Has to have at least one knockout, has to have a moment where there's all ages and sexes fighting. Like you can't just have a routine two drunk guys fighting.
It is weird to see a Chargers team and a Chargers fan base wearing, their nice docile colored blue uniforms, engaging in like physical combat.
Yeah.
It's more of a chill vibe, but with Harbaugh, he's even making the fan base more physical.
And the San Diego, those days, like they had to fight Raiders fans. That's just what happens.
Human body craves contact, even if you're a fan.
All right, last game from the afternoon, Seattle 26, Denver 20. What a weird start to the game. The Broncos got two safeties on the Seahawks. They were up 9-8 at one point. Or no, they were up I think they were up 9-8. No, they were down 9-8.
Maybe there might have been
because
was there a 10-9 score at some point? And everybody was like, "Oh, this is a normal score."
There was an 8-3, then a 9-8, then the Seahawks, when they scored a touchdown, they didn't get their 2 points, so it stayed 9-8 for a little bit. Then I think it was 12-9 or something. It was a crazy game.
Yeah, the first half was nuts. I think the record for safeties in an NFL game is 3.
It's 3.
And so we had 2 in the first half. Then it looked like they were going to get a third safety. The Broncos pinned them deep again, and they were running plays out of their end zone again, barely got out. I was hoping for a third safety at that point. And I will say once again, the safety in the NFL should be worth more than 2 points.
Yes.
2 points is not a big enough reward for how hard it is to get a safety.
Yeah.
It should be 4 points, 5 points, one of those two, or maybe the other team just gets the ball on the 1 yard line.
Yeah.
If there's a safety.
Yeah. So the score was at one point 10-9. There was 1 touchdown scored and 2 safeties, and the rest was field goals. And the team with 10 didn't have the touchdown, I don't think. No, they didn't.
Yeah, that's what was weird. It was like a 10-9 score, which it doesn't look weird on the scoreboard.
Right.
And then you break it down, and you're like, what the fuck happened here?
Huh?
This is crazy football.
Yeah.
Speaking of crazy football, Bo Nix, huh? Bo Nix, I don't say this lightly. Feel free to disagree, Big Cat.
Okay.
Bo Nix might be the heir apparent to Jameis.
Yeah, he is a little bit loose with it.
Like he's one of the funnier on-field quarterbacks because everything that he does with supreme confidence.
Oh yeah, always.
And
it's Bo Nix.
And when he throws an interception, he throws the fuck out of the interception.
If you have made plays, like if you followed Bo Nix in his college career, for anyone who's listening who's just an NFL fan, the way Bo Nix became Bo Nix is not what we saw last year at Oregon. It was the games he played at Auburn where it would be like 10:30 at night and Bo Nix would just be making insane throws that had no quarterback should throw and they would work. And so he still got that in him. And you're right. He might be the heir apparent.
We'll see. I'm just putting the tickler out there. We can remind ourselves this a little bit, see how it shakes out. But yeah, when he makes a great play, it's electric, and when he throws an interception, it's like there's nobody within 20 yards of the linebacker he just threw the interception to. And he throws across his body, off platform. It's the bowler coaster.
Yeah.
He is when he's at his best, he's very, very good, and when he's at his worst, he's very, very bad. And they asked Sean Payton about it after the game, and he said that everyone else around Bo Nix needs to play better.
Oh, so we got some favorite son.
We got some favorite son. Big Cat.
Sean Sanders talking about his son, the starting quarterback.
Big Cat, who would be responsible for making everyone on the team play better? Would there be somebody that has that job title?
Yeah, that would be the head coach.
I think that might be the head coach.
I should have gone with Deion Payton there. Sean Sanders. People are like, what are you talking
about?
Yeah,
Deion Payton. It's pretty good.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right, PFT. I would say the head coach.
Yeah, the head coach would probably do that. Sean Payton, I think he's probably gonna do the opposite of what he did with Russell Wilson last year.
Yeah,
he's throwing everybody else under the bus.
Yeah, not everyone else saw what was in Bo Nix's backpack.
Yeah, that's true. True.
Listen, as someone who watched a bad quarterback performance today, I'm grading all the rookie quarterbacks, especially on the road. Like, that was a tough place to play.
You know what? He's a gunslinger.
Yeah.
That's what Bo Nix is for sure.
Yeah. But yeah, I love the Seahawks. That's a great throwback.
Awesome throwback.
Those are great throwbacks.
Yep.
None of
that should be their
Giants.
That should be their everyday uniform.
Agreed.
I love it.
Agreed. Okay. We should talk about Rams Lions real quick. That was a thrilling game. The Lions are 1-0, win in overtime. I have to look it up because this is just off the top of my head. I'm going to guess Cooper Kupp had probably like 15 catches. He had 14. He was dominating. That was that one drive where he just kept on feeding him. I think the Rams are going to be just fine. The Lions are very good, and if they don't, that one interception Goff had, they could have won that in regulation. But those are two very good teams in my mind.
I'm going to say moral victory for the Rams.
Except for the Puka injury. Hopefully he's okay.
Yeah, so we don't know how long he's going to be out for. But if you're a Rams fan, you can look at this game and be like, okay, we're still going to be good.
Yeah.
Maybe based on what we saw in the playoffs last year, maybe slightly better than last year.
Yeah. I mean, Cooper Kupp, it was an insane 14 catches, 110 yards. And then if you're the Lions fan, David Montgomery's an absolute monster. He took over that entire overtime. And then Jameson Williams, maybe his arrival. I know he's had some flashes, but this felt like his arrival with 121 yards.
Yeah, and he caught a nice long pass too.
Yeah,
he's so fast when he gets going in the open field.
Yeah.
I think addition by subtraction by missing Josh Reynolds.
Yeah, I'd agree. All right, so we should do a little Monday night preview before we do Who's Back. Let me do Roback question, rhoback.com, promo code TAKE, 20% off your first purchase, Q-Zips, polos, hoodies, joggers, shorts, Roback, promo code TAKE. Memes, Roback question.
Yes.
Are you ready to join the 1-0 crew?
I'm very excited to watch the New York Jets play football on Monday night.
Okay. How are you feeling about the game? Do you think that they're going to win the game?
I am very nervous. I just want to watch Aaron Rodgers play a full game. In terms of winning, I'm not guaranteeing anything.
You're not guaranteeing anything besides
they're gonna play extremely hard.
Extremely hard.
Extremely hard.
And if Rodgers gets hurt, you're going to do a suicide bombing.
That's facts.
5 snaps and a season-ending injury, yes.
So if it happens in 6, you're not?
No, I'll probably just quit.
What about 4?
4 he has to.
4, yeah, anything under 5.
Okay. Anything under 5. Remember that awkward question he asked him?
Yeah.
Oh, come on.
I mean, that was bad. All right, Memes, you got to give us so DraftKings is doing a NFL no sweat touchdown bet for all customers. Opt in, get your no sweat token, and place an NFL touchdown bet. If your touchdown bet doesn't hit, you'll get it back as a bonus bet. So download the DraftKings Sportsbook app, use code TAKE. That's code TAKE to get you a no sweat token tonight. Give us a first touchdown score. PFT, you and I have to find a combined touchdown score. So like McCaffrey and Debo to have 2 touchdowns.
First touchdown?
Yeah.
Ooh. I was going to say
Come on.
touchdown.
Come on.
I'll go Breece Hall.
Breece Hall.
He just breaks one. Goes all the way.
Okay.
This could be my pick.
We could do Breece Hall and Christian McCaffrey plus 140.
I kind of like that.
And it's also the nice thing about that is if Breece Hall scores 2 touchdowns, Christian McCaffrey scores 0, we still win.
We still win that one, yeah.
So that might be the pick.
I like that one a lot.
Yeah.
You got to do
What
two
about-
running backs then, yeah.
What about Kittle
Kittle. We could get Kittle.
for the people?
Breece Hall and George Kittle plus 280. I love that
For the people?
for the people. I like that.
Kittle will make it happen.
Kittle will make it happen. Memes. I'm nervous for you because I'm going to bet the Jets too.
I'm extremely nervous. I started getting nervous at around 4 o'clock today. Calmed down a little bit, but now I'm full back to I'm nervous, but I'm very excited to watch him play.
How did Mr. Pear do this weekend?
I believe what was the Rams line?
It was he would cover if he picked the Lions.
I think he picked the Rams,
Oh, Jesus.
and then he picked the Eagles.
Okay, so he's 1-2. Is he gonna pick? Are you gonna release a play for Monday Night Football?
Yep.
Okay, and no funny business.
No funny business.
No funny business because you know this turtle is your turtle.
Yeah.
Okay. No funny.
No
business.
funny.
No.
I promise. No funny business.
No funny business.
I promise.
Sounds like there's gonna be funny business.
I promise. No
PFTD.
funny business.
If he picks the 49ers, you're going to air that.
Yep.
Okay. Sounds like there's gonna be funny business.
But Mr. Pear loves you. So you can't stand on the side of the Jets and have him come to you.
That's true.
Yeah. No funny business.
Okay.
I'll do straight up.
All right. Should we wrap up with who's back of the week? Hank, are you okay?
Yeah.
You sure?
Yeah.
Hank, did you like watching the game today?
Well, it was on like the small TV, so it was kind of hard to see. Like we had the Patriots game on a quad box, so I could barely watch.
Yeah, that was tough when I had to break to you because there's 7 TVs, 8 games, so that's where we had it.
Meme just keeps cutting to Hank during this, in the middle of this.
What a dick. He's out to get you.
That's
Hollywood
fucked up.
memes. Hollywood memes.
That's fucked up.
Hollywood memes. Yeah, I thought you'd be a little more excited to be 1-0. I mean, I guess this is just the difference. I'm so excited to be 1-0. Today was awesome.
Yeah, I think Hank cares about just being a winner.
Yeah.
You are a winner for this day.
I said I'm infinitely more excited for the rest of the season than
Okay, yeah,
before.
that's true.
I'm
Infinitely.
Wait, what's infinity times 0?
Oh, yeah.
I think that's still 0.
well, I was at a 1.
Yeah.
Okay, so you are infinity.
You're infinity
excited.
Yeah.
Nice.
Okay,
That's
you couldn't
huge.
possibly be more excited.
That's huge.
This is what you look like at
It's hot as
maximum
fucking
excitedness.
here.
It is hot as fucking here. It is almost midnight. I agree with all those statements. And did you know Hank almost got a hole in one yesterday?
How close?
6 inches.
Oh,
damn.
Call that
Good par.
Call that 2 penises.
Was it on camera?
No.
That would have been tough.
Wait a minute, you parred?
No, I mean
It's a joke. It's a golf joke.
Sorry.
If
Max,
you
you wouldn't understand.
I don't-
You're
I don't-
You're
I
a
don't-
betting guy,
sorry,
not
no.
a golf guy.
Yeah.
I don't give a shit about the camera thing. Like I'm not gonna film myself hitting up every time I hit a par 3.
But if you had come in here and you beat your chest and you were like, I got a hole in one today, and there was no video of it, that would have been tough.
Would it have?
I actually think weirdly, I would believe it more if there was no video of it.
Yeah, like that's one of those things people can say whatever they want to say. I mean,
Yeah.
obviously it happened even with Jake's on camera. People said it.
Well, that was fake.
Right, like people would say that. I wouldn't care. Like I would know. You know.
I think almost keeping it to yourself. Not keeping it to yourself.
Yeah, I would tell you guys.
Yeah, yeah.
But
That would have been sick if you got it.
Yeah, that would have rocked.
First shot?
what do you mean first shot?
I don't know. Maybe it was a breakfast ball?
No,
That's the worst, right?
that would be a nightmare.
Like that would be because I take so many shots off the tee boxes like that. I think someday in my life I might get a hole in one, but it will 100% be a second shot.
Like if you hit your first shot into the water,
Yeah.
and instead of going to the drop zone, you just hit from the tee on the
Correct.
second one, it goes in.
That's how
I'd
it's
be
gonna
I'd be
happen.
pissed off.
Yeah, that's how it's going to happen for me.
Or by yourself. But
Because, I mean, you
doing
guys-
it by yourself would be traumatic.
Yeah, I would never golf by myself, so that's not a problem.
Yeah, you have a problem if you're drinking alone or golfing alone.
Mm-hmm. Problem.
Or if you're drinking while golfing alone, that's cool.
Okay, 2 negatives make it positive.
Yeah, that's an awesome time.
All right, hit us with our last ad before we do Who's Back of the Week.
Yeah, before
Great talk football with the boys.
It is. Before we get to Whom's Back of the Week, it's brought to you by our great friends over at Coors Light. The mountains are blue. We got some Coors Lights right here on the desk. They look crispy. Some crispy boys adorning the part of my Take studio right now. And if you were watching football this weekend, I hope you were drinking Coors Light. The mountains turn blue when the beer is cold. And on college football Saturdays, it's never short on intrigue, especially when there's some iconic rivalry games going on out there. But you can add to the excitement on Saturdays with Coors Light. They teamed up with DraftKings for the free-to-play college football pick'em pools, where you pick winners for a chance to win big. When rivalries heat up, it's time to choose chill, then reach for an ice-cold Coors Light. When you're looking to keep it chill, there's only one beer to choose. That's Coors Light. The mountains on the bottles and cans even turn blue when your beer's cold. Coors Light is mountain cold refreshment. Coors Light's cold lagered, cold filtered, cold packaged. Coors Light is the absolute best. I love drinking Coors Light. When the college football rivalries that you're watching heat up, choose chill with Coors Light and DraftKings. Get Coors Light delivered straight to your door with Instacart by going to CoorsLight.com/take. 21 and over eligibility restrictions apply. Void where prohibited. See terms at DraftKings.com/Coors Light. Pick 'em. Celebrate responsibly. Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado.
Okay, who's back of the week? Hank.
My who's back of the week is Kendrick Lamar.
Yeah.
He was announced to be doing the Super Bowl halftime show.
Wap, 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 wap. I mean, what is Drake's reaction when he sees this news?
He can't be happy. It is weird. I think the next 2 Super Bowls are in LA, or the next Super Bowl after this.
New Orleans.
And then
Is it?
I know this one's New Orleans, but I believe the next
They're
one
going back to LA?
Yeah. I believe.
I don't think so.
Miami, maybe.
Santa Clara.
Feels like it's been a while since we had Miami, too.
You're fake.
California.
You're fake news.
Well, California.
Oh,
California.
yeah, but that's not LA.
But Kendrick's decidedly LA.
That's NorCal. I don't know if you know there's a difference between NorCal and SoCal.
Either way,
Then,
New Orleans,
then it's going to SoFi again.
they should have had it be Lil Wayne. Lil Wayne halftime show in New Orleans would have been
I mean, there's a lot
incredible.
of a lot of musicians from Louisiana. And
Yeah,
to
what
pick
the
a guy from
fuck?
LA to do it.
Why didn't they do?
And then they're going to be in California next year. Kendrick
Yeah,
Lamar's
that's
from
stupid.
California. So, but there's rumors. I mean, this is just like internet debate. But there's rumors because Jay-Z, like, he's the one that I guess picks the halftime shows now. The past few.
That's his job.
Wait, what?
Yeah, he's on the board.
Oh, I remember that there was something with like him and Goodell. Yeah. Okay.
And if he
It's Illuminati shit.
if he had gotten Lil Wayne probably would have brought out Nicki Minaj and Drake. And Jay-Z doesn't like Drake, so he basically did the
took
opposite.
Kendrick.
So, but who's gonna do the next one?
Also Kendrick Lamar.
Yeah.
They're just going to make it so that Drake can never watch a Super Bowl again.
What if Drake? Would there be any? No.
What?
What if Drake was like, "Hey Kendrick, you beat me. Can I come out for the Super Bowl halftime?"
Never do that.
Okay, I was just boy can dream.
But he knows. Drake knows he lost.
Can I come out for this song when you call me a pedophile?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just be like, here, just do it one last time in my face.
He's not going
That
to.
would be crazy.
Kendrick's.
That would never happen.
He's not going to be able to say certified pedophile during the Super Bowl, right?
No, he's gonna go certified and then let everyone else sing.
Everyone, there's going to be 70,000 people
Correct.
saying pedophile.
Correct.
Yeah, that's going to be tough for Drake.
Yeah. Very tough for Drake. That's a brutal. And like he can't go to the Super Bowl.
No.
I don't know if he goes usually, but one of his many teams is probably in it.
Well, I saw a picture of him wearing a Niners jacket. I don't know if he's a Niners fan. He loves every team.
Yeah.
He had a new song that came out this weekend that was good. Drake.
Okay.
Try to strike a chord and it's probably a Niner.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good. Good who's back, Hank?
Thanks.
I didn't know that part about Jay-Z.
Yeah. Is he I don't know what his job is with the NFL, but I do know that he's like in charge of a lot of like cultural stuff for Roger Goodell. But picking the Super Bowl halftime show seems like the easiest job ever.
Well, it's been rappers all 3 years. He's done
So wait, so Roger Goodell essentially like took the like, but I have a black friend and like made a job out of it?
Yeah. Yeah, no, because Big Cat, you're not telling the full story.
It was like after Left Shark, they're like, we need.
No, what it was,
Roger Goodell will do anything.
what happened was Roger Goodell was like, a lot of the players in the NFL are African American. They think that I'm doing a shitty job. I'm going to hire Jay-Z so they can't be mad at me anymore.
Got it.
That's pretty much what he did.
Got it. Jerry Jones taking a knee.
Yeah, Jay-Z doesn't care about black and white. Jay-Z cares about green.
Oh,
It's true.
That was deep.
It's deep.
That was deep. Okay, PFT.
My who's back of the week is Texas. We'll talk about it on Wednesday for college football, but Texas is back.
Yeah.
Big time back. Texas is legit.
Michigan might be ass.
Hook 'em. I think Texas is
Texas is very good.
Very, very
but
good.
Both things can be true.
Yeah, very, very good. I think their defense is awesome. I think that their running game is sick. Quinn Ewers throwing the ball all over the place. Like nobody is talking about Arch Manning playing, which is it's crazy if you were to think about that a couple of years ago when he committed to Texas. But Quinn Ewers is so good that they're making people forget about Arch. Yeah. Which is pretty incredible. I told you the Longhorns were my title pick at the start of the season. I love the Longhorns right now. SEC, the game against Georgia, my pants are already tight for that one.
I'm rooting for you to have Texas because I do think you've picked Texas like 4 years ago.
Yeah, I have. I picked Texas a lot. Well, last year, and I was close.
I think the year before.
Not the year before, but last year I was close.
Yeah, you were very close.
I was very close last year. I feel like I'm going to be closer this year. This year, I feel like whoever wins that Georgia-Texas game, that's going to be the winner. Yeah. They're going to win the whole thing.
Yeah, I mean, we will talk Wednesday, but NIU, that was my who's back. I mean, that was Marcus Freeman. Yikes.
Yeah. I want to see what that's like on the Peacock show.
Yeah. NIU. Shout out to NIU. Thomas Hammock. Awesome. That speech after was like why we watched college football. Him crying and being like, this is a family, and, all these guys that get passed over. It was so awesome.
Now, is there any sports podcasts out there that said Notre Dame guaranteed to go undefeated now after they won week 1?
Yeah. They should have.
Let us know if you know of a podcast that said that, because I'll kick their ass.
They should have, yeah.
Why do teams, because it always comes out when
the
these
bye
upsets
games
happen, why do teams pay other teams?
Because they don't lose them, usually.
So NIU got paid
still like
$1.2 million
because they
come
get a free
Do they
win.
negotiate?
Yeah, they get a free win.
So what happens, they pay these teams money because they want to put people in the stands, they want to win a game, and they want to be on national television playing in a game against a team that they will beat.
And the coaches want to get to 7-8 wins, and to get to 7-8 wins, you can throw in 2 wins that you can just basically check off and be like, all right, now I only got to win 6 games. And then they lose.
But why wouldn't the teams want to play those games anyway? Like, you get a chance to beat a ranked opponent or whatever.
The shit kicked out of you most of the time.
You'd rather play a worse opponent and win.
Yeah. Like Bowling Green, who actually played really well against Penn State. Last year they played against Michigan. They got like 1 million injuries, and it derailed their entire season. So it's probably not fun playing those games, except you have the NIU. So Marcus Freeman's got a little bit of an issue because this is now – so we said last week Marcus Freeman won the big game against Texas A&M, which Brian Kelly couldn't do. The one thing Brian Kelly did do was not lose the little games, and Marcus Freeman loses the little games. So he's lost to Marshall as double-digit home favorite, Stanford as a double-digit home favorite, and now NIU. Our guy Chris Felica had a stat. Since the start of the 2022 season, there have been 28 losses by a home favorite of at least 16 points in college football. Notre Dame has 3 of them.
That's not good.
I honestly, their fans got to they have a double whammy of like Notre Dame's such a cool stadium and like a hallowed place that teams get so juiced up to play there, and then a lot of their fans are so old that they just don't get loud enough. That sleepy spot, and it feels like every year that 2:30 kickoff, like game they should win. But shout out to NIU, dogs.
If you're
absolute dogs.
If you're an NIU professor, give all the students a day off class on Monday.
Yeah,
it should be a holiday.
It should. I don't understand how a Notre Dame, a Michigan, like I understand how Wisconsin can get to not a great quarterback in the transfer portal. Hank, shout out you. I don't understand how Notre Dame and Michigan can.
Every quarterback should want to play.
Like I don't get it. Riley Leonard seems like a nice guy. He's not a very good quarterback.
Yeah, it's a tough spot for the Irish.
Yeah,
what's going to happen if they
did lose to a ranked opponent. Northern Illinois did get ranked 25.
If this was their only loss this season, where does that leave Notre Dame?
I think they'll get in, which is our good friend college football expert Tom Fernelli pointed out that's why he doesn't like the 12-team playoff, which is I love the 12-team playoff because I just like having more teams involved, but it's a fair point on it that Notre Dame could run the table and definitely still be in, because they'll put Notre Dame in if they're 11-1.
That would rock, though, if Notre Dame somehow got into the college football playoff, won the whole thing, and then NIU could just declare themselves national champions.
Yeah. Although they'll probably lose a MAC game on like a Tuesday night.
Yeah, but still.
Crazy wind or
It would
something.
be so awesome if NIU was in, if a MAC team was in the playoff.
Yeah, they can.
I know they can. It
Yeah.
would be great.
But yeah, that's if Notre Dame wins out. I mean, look, they are only 18th now. So you have to think that if they keep winning,
Yeah, I'm looking who's ahead of them right now.
like those teams,
All
a lot of
hard
these-
schedules.
and all these teams play each other.
Yeah.
So, yeah, Notre Dame. I mean, now you look at their schedule a little differently because, like, oh shit, they might not be good. But yeah, we'll do full college football, talk about everything on Wednesday. Any who's back from the booth? Anything we missed? No.
Nope.
Okay. How was the wedding?
It was good. Shout out Allie and Luke. I'm
every
just gonna
weekend.
do shout outs every Monday, I guess.
Oh shit! I just thought of something.
What?
That would be a good punishment, although that would ruin my life.
Have you go to
For like 4 back-to-back weddings.
I mean, that's my
a
life.
wedding
Yeah,
every week?
but it's like AWL's weddings.
I do have fun.
That would be pretty funny as a punishment. You had to go to 4 weddings in a row,
And a funeral.
and one funeral.
No
Yes.
Yeah,
no,
4
he's
weddings and
right.
a funeral.
He's right.
No funeral.
He's right.
4
One
weddings and a funeral, yeah.
That would be the punishment. That might be our Super Bowl picks. 4 weddings and a funeral.
What is funny about going to a funeral?
Nothing's funny about
Listen,
it.
if it's like an older person and like they were a listener,
We're supposed to make content out of this. What would be funny about going
there's
to
gonna
a
be.
funeral?
You're wrong because you're
right.
wrong. There's someone who's listening right now who has had a death close to them who either was a listener of the show or like has a great sense of humor that would definitely be like, yeah, have them come.
I feel like you also decided the stream thing when like we did the drive to LA.
I didn't decide this.
No, Max.
Oh.
Like he's just decided
But
Everything has to
we
be
also
streamed.
kind of
Should we
The-
make this
the-
should we make this the picks punishment?
let's not do any rash decisions right now.
But what if the funeral was like a celebrity? So like not somebody that had any personal connection. Jimmy Carter.
All right, we could say 4 weddings, but that would be 4 AWO weddings in a month. Anyone? Memes is the one.
Memes
who has to
isn't.
show
Memes
up.
is Memes is
it's easier than a 9 dart or an hour stand up.
It really is.
All right, we can think about it. I mean, it would be funny for the AWLs too. They just get whoever loses the picks. If you like, you can map it out to whatever month you want, and just be like, yeah, 4 weddings in this month, done. God, that would be hell for me.
4 weddings, 4 states.
The travel would be tough.
Well, it would just be so much work. I probably wouldn't be able to. I would probably just do my normal schedule.
No, you'd have to go to an AW. It'd have to be a listener invites you to the wedding. Like, you can't be
But
someone
then
you
my
know.
whole entire life is just
Right.
like
So
I
you
already
practice.
go to weddings.
You'd also have to tell them, like when you'd make small talk with like the friends and family of the wedding party. They're like, "Why are you here?" "Oh, I'm being punished."
Yeah.
Weddings are also so fun. Like
you have to.
every
Well,
ti-
not when you're
yeah,
almost
not when
40.
you're like But like
Yeah,
this
I'd have a
this
great
weekend, wedding was great.
And this would be this would hurt me the most. So I mean, if you guys think that's a funny punishment, we could do it.
And will we still do second and last?
Yes, second has to go to a funeral.
No funeral.
One funeral.
What if Memes blows himself up?
Pug just goes, "Oh my god!" when you said funeral.
Why? Oh, you walked in mid.
Yes.
I don't know. PFD and I think it would be. I think there'd be someone who'd be like, it'd be an honor if you came to the funeral. I'd give a speech.
But like,
Yeah, yeah.
People. Death is part of life.
that is
Facts.
sad.
Whoa.
I understand.
Yeah, it's
but
sad.
Death is part. Sad is, but
think of that like that caption online, like podcast.
No, we
shows
wouldn't
up
do it. We don't
shows
make
up to
it-
funeral to make
No,
content.
no.
I'm not
that's
gonna,
not how it
we're not gonna
works.
Think about
show
that-
up. We're
think
not
about
gonna
that
show up.
headline.
We're not gonna show up with a selfie cam and be like, "Hey, what's up? Here for the funeral."
Yeah, no, we're not gonna
be
we're not gonna make a
respectful.
video of it. We're just gonna go. Like, there have been AWLs who've passed away, right? You think that like someone wouldn't reach out and be like, "Hey, my friend was a big listener. It would be an honor if you came to the funeral."
And they're like, "Yes, this is a punishment. You have to. You have to."
You don't want to punish. Funerals are sad. You said it yourself.
But it's
All right,
giving back.
We can table the funeral.
Yeah. Well, let's
listen. At my funeral, I want everyone to fucking roast me. Death is part of life. I'm not even gonna be there. Think about it. I won't be at my funeral.
I want the Stone Cold music to come on.
Yeah.
Halfway through.
Then everyone will expect you to pop out of the casket.
I do want one of us to fake our deaths. That would be so funny.
I think it's doable.
It would be so funny if we did a funeral and then just,
for the views.
Haha, he's still alive. It would kind of ruin all of our credibility. People would be really pissed after, but it would be very funny.
Undertaker gift.
For us.
I could go off the grid for a few years.
Yeah, we know.
No, not years. I was thinking a week.
Oh.
We could say you're dead for a week.
Tomorrow I'm out. If he's already.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah, what memes funeral?
I'm out. You can do whatever you want with it.
Hank fakes his own death, and people are like, why does his handicap keep updating on the U.S. Golf Association?
Memes on the Pardon My Take Instagram. You'll be live for the first 5.
I'll be with
snaps.
him. I'll be with him for the game. So I will.
Can you live stream the first 5 snaps?
Yeah.
I'll do it from Instagram.
The people that can't figure out the ESPN DirecTV shit should be like tried in the Supreme Court.
What do you mean?
And possibly like executed.
What are we talking about now? I don't know. I have every. I pay for every.
I can't watch ESPN at my house.
Oh. What do you mean?
You have DirecTV.
Yeah.
And they
black out ESPN.
They're gonna figure it out tomorrow before Monday Night Football. It's always the deadlines.
I hope so.
Because right now you're being pitted in a war. Like DirecTV.
I was trying to watch college football.
DirecTV's telling you.
No, you weren't.
Yes, I was.
No, you weren't.
Yes, I was.
No, you weren't.
Yes,
DirecTV's telling you ESPN is the devil.
I was trying to watch a Tennessee game and I could not.
ESPN's telling you that DirecTV is the devil. You don't know who to believe.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They should all be tried.
Tomorrow will be figured out because you can't Monday Night
Promise?
Football. Yeah, I honestly think that they'll have a deal tomorrow night before the game because they just can't have Monday Night Football not be there. It's Monday Night Football.
I know.
You've missed what? College football right now?
And
you haven't missed
U.S. Open.
You haven't missed an NFL game.
No.
Right? That's exactly that's when the deadline happens.
What about the app? Can you use the app?
No, because the app, you can watch like ESPN Plus games, but the app
you have
tells
to connect,
you're connecting.
Yeah.
Come over to my house tomorrow.
All right.
All right. You're welcome. I would love to watch the game with you.
Okay.
Okay.
Sounds nice.
Yeah. We'll have a great time. Talk or not talk for the whole time.
Awesome.
What about a pet funeral?
Yeah. A bird. I don't want to go to a dog's funeral. A bird. I'd go to a bird's funeral.
I think I could drag myself to a
hold
cat
on.
funeral.
You think you would rather go to a human funeral?
You're
like it's too disrespectful to go to a dog's funeral, but a human that would be fun.
Well, it's a human.
Well, no, I'm thinking of
Max. What if the human requested it before they passed away?
I'm not thinking of you're thinking of like a fucking like 20-year-old. I'm thinking of like a 90-year-old. Lived a great life.
I also don't think it really mattered. I do think people would be.
Yes.
There's a decent amount. Obviously, not everyone in every situation.
Of course
is
not.
different, but
and I wouldn't expect everyone.
Absolutely, people who would be like, I would like that'd be awesome if they came to my funeral.
Yeah. Yes. There are people listening right now. They're like, yeah, I'm going to tell my significant other if I pass away, please invite them, and we'll be there. Well, whoever
one of us, the worst gambler amongst us.
The worst gambler. Will be there.
And for the last month of the show leading up to it, we're all going to be talking about how much we don't want to go to it.
They're going to be whoever shows your funeral is going to be motherfucking the Colts under their breath. All right, great show, boys. Good to be back.
Football
numbers
12,
8,
56.
So let's go 9. I'm gonna go 9.
3.
Shane Pug
97 Pug.
21. Pug's about to nail this.
3.
Pug's so good.
Ooh, 65. Reverse.
Love you guys.